Yo, it's working. All right, we're good. How's it going, chat? Hello, hello. How's it going, guys? Good to see you. Good to see you. Late, I know. I just woke up. I just woke up. Feeling good. Feeling rested. I'm here. I'm here. Don't look at the creeper stash, all right? The creeper stash, I know. I was going to get rid of it today, and then when I woke up, I was like, I'll just get rid of it later today. You're here to scare the children? Should I expect some angry emails from your guys' parents? My child is having nightmares after seeing your creeper stash. Come on, Chad. Give me one more day. I'm lazy. One more day. See, what was in Chase Check This that I was like, I needed to see? Chase Check This. Wait, he said, behold, burbs. Wait, are these your birds? I'm assuming? Oh, they're kind of adorable. Little birds. Cute little fellas. Chicken nuggets? No, Chad, they're not chicken nuggets. Even if they look delicious, no. Bad, Chad. No nuggets for you. I had a bad dream last night. Where you were replaced by your evil twin. The twin version streams and opens shops on time and published Dunkbot 2.0 in 2021. Wait, that's the evil twin? I'm confused. If you subscribe, will you use the money to get a razor and shave that awful thing? Hey! Hey! How dare you? Just put a sticky note over the webcam area. This vicinity, right here. I guess it depends on the size of your monitor. If you're watching on like a 70-inch TV, you may need a piece of paper or something larger. But come on, let's be real. Most of you guys are on a monitor. A little sticky note, boom, problem solved. All right, chat. Focus up. We're gonna get ready to play some Noita. I know that's why a lot of you guys are here. You're only interested in one thing. And it's Noita. Yep, let's get Noita. We're about to go on a Noita adventure. Veldak's ready to go. I haven't 100% decided, but today I'm going to be quick on my decision. If anything, I think I'm probably going to do some kind of elemental run, and we'll let the element that we kind of rely on be decided by like what we come across in the run. Something like that. Some kind of elemental Noita run. Could do an avatar run and make a wand with all 4 elements. Yeah, Gartip wants that too. He says, go for an avatar run. Four bosses, 1 element. Maybe more holy. Maybe more holy is another element. So kill 1 boss with wind, 1 with earth, and so on. No, Delirious, I haven't selected the run just yet. Did you have something in mind? A TI while you figure out the run. Okay, we'll do a TI. Okay, Crow. Let's do a TI run. In fact, we're going to go with the classic 13 to 37, though. We're going classic. We're not doing this sitting around thinking forever. I want to jump into a run. 13 to 37 is the range. Basically, it's going to be a quick speed run. Me versus chat. Chat's going to try to kill me. I'm going to survive. Chat's going to be very sad that they couldn't kill me. But exclamation mark, yes, if you think I'm going to win. Exclamation mark, no, if you think I'm going to lose. It's just a warm-up, you guys. I mean, it's not a warm-up. I mean, I'm getting warmed up. It is a bet. But I didn't go with like the craziest range ever because it's our first run of the day. 4 options. We're going classic, like I said, 13 to 37. Apply. Let's close all bets and let's go. All right, hold up. All right, and it's go time. Good luck to you, all believers out there. Type a exclamation mark yes. All right, bets are officially closed. If you didn't make it in time, that's on you. I gave you as much time as possible. I ultra stalled. Honest question, why more than once? I mean, whenever she stops by, I am more tempted to play some like meme troll stuff on Sonic. And so I think that's pretty much as troll as it gets. Peak Sonic degeneracy. I didn't scam you, you were too slow. Ambrosia? Don't mind if I do. Oh! What the hell is this? This whole place is just oil. Oh my gosh, I think if I didn't have ambrosia, I may have just died there. Good, good, good. Don't worry, believers. I will protect your streak. Your streak is safe with me. There's a little bit of vomit in that. Oh shit, I can't afford... Wait, I could afford one of those. Oh, it is actually a pretty good wand. Hold up. Melee immunity. This could work. Spicy blood. And then we'll be doing the daily run here in a little bit. I haven't 100% decided on what our daily run's going to be. I'm thinking maybe something elemental. Somebody in chat was pointing out the fact that we are due for like a longer YouTube video. A lot of ours have been the some dunk VODs content, or like you know edited content, which makes it much more watchable. But it's probably due for a long one now. Random enemies, no problem. Holy crap, did that guy just... A little scary. Acid. Nope, 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 nope. Go. Good, good, good. So far, not so bad. Would have liked to teleport by now, but beggars can't be choosers. Extra life. Though, concentrate spells, you could argue that may have been the better call there. My thinking was, I just want to focus on survivability. I do want to go with that. If we just had the black hole, we would be set. Oh, this is not the way. Oh! Damn it! No! That healer just soaked those hits for me! Is there double? What the hell's going on right now? This is bad. I think it was because the polymorphic. Oh. Alright, we're moving now. Oh, oh shit! The random projectiles is an explosive. Not bad. Not bad, I gotta say. Oh. I gotta wait out this. Yeah, we're fine. Just chilling. Hey, I promised a dub for my believers. I can't let them down. We're just chilling. No big deal. Nothing to see here. It did waste my extra life already. Oh no! That was a fresh ambrosia. I would have liked that. Ducks? That's actually kind of huge. Son of a bitch. I gotta go the exact route I just walked, otherwise... Oh my god, there's gonna be new threats. Yep. So the ducks are so strong that I can even kill stuff, even though I haven't really done much wand crafting. You see? They're slaying. I forget when I use this. Oh no! Woo! There was a heart there, but no turning back now. Oh, this is bad. Waiting out the fucking castellet on this. Not bad, not bad. I gotta wait this out. It's a little dangerous. I probably should have went. I hope I don't regret this. Believers, I told you I wouldn't let you down, baby. I told you. Woo! Yes. GG. Don't try to spam. No, don't spam that shit. Accept your L. If you were a doubter, you accept that L, okay? Take it like a champ. Now for the believers, accept the dub. Take that dub. Imagine being proud of that shit cheese. What? That was not shit cheese. That was a respectable run.
I like when Dunk is so desperate for a win, he goes with the high range and cheap tricks like waiting, ambrosia, and teleport.
What?
But I can respect that. Not having a spine is kind of a skill you have to use when you can't play the game like a decent player.
Kuba, I hear you yapping. I see your mouth doing this, all right? You just, or your fingers more, I guess, typing. But watch this. I'll farm another dub right here, right now, just to show you that it is very easy and that chat is just tiny brain. Now, there were options given to them, I'm sure, that could have gotten me killed, but you guys were you're thinking too simplistic. You got that tiny brain. That sad case of tiny brainitis. It's really sad. It affects millions of people. This is a guy running with ambrosia diaper the whole time. What? No. No, the ambrosia was fair and balanced. First off, I was a sheep because of that ambrosia. Did you forget that? I literally got turned into a sheep. Still lived.
All the chances we had to kill you used ambrosia 90% to run.
I mean, what do you guys not want me to use my skill and options that were put in front of me to win? Is that what's happening here? There was no ambrosia diaper, there was only skill. Like, would you guys feel good winning knowing that I didn't even try? Like, I just was given telly, walked past it. I was given ambrosia, walked past it, then lost? That'd be just silly.
Of course, it's very easy. My grandmother would be 13 to 37, and she's been dead for over a decade.
The hell? Come on. That was an accidental one. I don't know why I was having the hardest time getting that to land where I needed it to. Ah, shit. Come on. I want none of those.
This guy right now, he is drenched in sweat.
Oh! Grab a little bit of gold. Scarm. My brain. Evil DunkOrSlam. Be like slam and dunk. What? Oh! Okay, it's okay. It's okay. We're fine. We're fine. Scarm, thank you for the 17-monther. New game plus damage. Seems fair, reasonable, and balanced. All at the same time.
Gotcha, bitch.
I can just find a heart, man. Put my stronger hearts to use. Explosion immunity. I do like that. This is what happens when you have no ambrosia or telly. First off, I didn't even get the telly until like a little ways in. Oh shit, I gotta dodge this to the left. Come on. Power of lightning. Oh! Swap or curse. No! Oh my god. I didn't see him. I just saw the chest. The new game plus melee just fucking pumped. How much damage was that? 46?
Good.
I wasn't even trying. I knew it wasn't even a bet, so why would I even... Come on, chat. Be real. Be real. Wasn't a bet, doesn't matter, didn't count. Now, let's focus up. Let's focus on the daily run for today. What no telly or ambrosia does to a motherfucker? No. It's like hard to try without, you know, the motivation of a bet. Go for the avatar run. Bosses, 4 bosses, 1 element. So kill 1 boss with wind, 1 with earth, so on. We could create the rule that you need to carry the element wands at all times. Kolmi need to be hit by all 4 wands after killing the boss with the element wand that can't be changed. The problem is I can't really... I'm trying to think of a fun element, kind of. What about a 34 orb run with cessation for YouTube? My issue is just that I like the idea. It's just that hunt for the orb could be a little bit bleh. I think the 34 orb cessation one is not a bad idea. What do you guys think of doing a 34 orb run? So basically, the reason that suggestion was being thrown out is I don't think I have a 34 orb run on YouTube since cessation's been added to the game. So it does kind of add a new way that you can hunt down the greater chest orb, since you just get to the spot. I think it should just be where we get to the spot we need to be in. Probably would use like a mod to tell us the X and Y coordinate, because it would be too much of a grind to do the HTML stuff. And then cast the end of everything and cessation at the same time. I'm assuming something like that. And then yeah, I guess that we would see if that could be a video. We doing a YouTube video? I'm just saying that we could do that as a YouTube video. It was what was suggested. It's not a terrible one. Sounds great. Duke is down with it. Holy Lance all boss. Screw the Holy Lance. Getting the 34th orb was hell. That's why I was kind of wanting to revisit it, is because I think there may be a new way, not new, but a new old way with cessation to get your hands on it in a much safer method. Cessation makes it way easier. My problem I have is, like, I'm not sure if I cessation end of everything at the same time, if it sends your character away before the ground starts to disappear beneath you, you know? It does. I did it. Okay, so it will actually let you disappear without moving your character. See, I haven't even toyed around with cessation as the method. All right, let's do that. It's something I haven't done before, and I'll learn something along the way. A lot of people in the chat say it's a great method. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open the bet now, but let me explain the rules just so that people who are placing bets aren't like, wait, I didn't realize that's the rules. It's a 34 orb run. I will allow myself to turn on the X and Y mod whenever we're doing the greater chest orb. I will talk about the alternative method if you don't want to have any mods on, but because it's really rough to watch somebody pull up the HTML file and just look for the coordinates and all that, I'll just explain it, but I don't plan to do that method just because it just takes so long. So that is going to be it. Mods are fine. I only plan to have the mod on just for at that one moment. We'll discuss it there, but the 34 orb run, actually it's a daily run. I left that little detail out. We're going to do it on the daily run today just to make it interesting. So let me, and I'm about to be muting the bot in just a second, but if you believe I will win today's 34 orb run, type exclamation mark yes. If you think I'm going to fail, type exclamation mark no. Just for fun, can you use the X and Y from only ones? Oh, that's not a bad idea at all. I may just use the only ones one, actually. That's a pretty solid suggestion. Yeah, Cabby, I love that idea. She's Giga Brain. Hell yeah, Cabby. I'll try to use that one. If something happens it's too delayed or not precise enough, then we'll use the other one. But yeah, I'm going to try to use only ones.
I really wish you guys could see this guy right
We'll
now.
discuss it in more detail when we get to that point in the run, but that's so deep in that it's like, it's going to take a while. Anyways, focus up. It's time to jump into the daily run. Let me make sure everything is turned off. All right, you guys are going into silent mode. Last chance. If you had anything you need to yap about before the bot gets muted, because we're gonna. I don't know if this will get posted to YouTube, but at the very least, we want it to be possible to get posted to YouTube. All right. I hear you. Silenced. All right. So now you guys live in purgatory with Woat together. Let us begin our journey. All right. So YouTube, we got this the run today muted so that this could maybe get posted. We got DunkBot muted so that hopefully this is not DMCA, nothing that we do today. Hopefully we don't have any DMCA music. I won't be clicking too many links today. Please forgive me in the chat. But we are doing a 34 orb run today, and we're going to do it on the daily run. So let me load into that. When I click daily run, it's probably going to put us in the wrong seed because I was playing some Twitch integration with the Twitch chat and everything. So usually when you're doing something like that, it makes it where it puts you on the wrong daily the first time you click. So let's click it again. Let's see if it puts us on the right daily this time. But yes, a 34 orb daily. You heard me correctly. There you go. It's grayed out. Today we're starting with Invisibilium, Spark Bolts, and Magic Missile. So the quest that we're doing today, or the run that we're doing today, actually does give you a cosmetic permanently in Noita if you've never done it before. It will give you, you can see around my character's neck, there is that gold chain. You earn that gold chain whenever you do a 33 orb run, but the little red dot with the little gold dots around it, it's like right there, right in the center. It's kind of hard to see. It's very subtle. It's only a couple pixels. This is the Amulet of Yendor. Hopefully I'm saying it right. And that's what you earn when you do a 34 orb run, which is what we're trying to do today. So since we already have it, we won't get another cosmetic. We already have gotten it unlocked. But for anybody that's never done it, it's something they may be, you know, interested in doing so that they'll have it permanently in all their future runs. So there's actually a couple ways that we can go about doing this. But the reason that people in the community have requested us to revisit this run is because I have not, at least I don't think I've done this run since the spell cessation was added to the game. So this is going to be a learning moment for me too, because a lot of people in the chat were saying that they actually used cessation when they were doing their 34 orb run, and it helped a ton. And it makes sense because you can make your character disappear while you're having to farm the greater chest orb. One exception though, for anybody out there watching, they may be getting their hopes up that I'm going to do this completely modless without any tools. No, that's not the case. There has not been a method discovered to get the 34th orb without using some kind of outside tools. We'll talk about that when we get to that point. But yeah, sadly, no secrets discovered there. Still the same old same, where there's like a website made by Kali or Rhesus that kind of leads you to the X and Y coordinates you want to be at. And then we'll use like a mod that tells us the X and Y location, or we'll use like the only wands thing. We'll see. But yeah, no new discoveries there. This run is mainly about using cessation for the method of farming the end of everything. But we'll go into more detail. If all that just sounds like mumbo jumbo to you, don't worry, it's not a big deal. We'll go into more detail whenever we get to that part. That part's later in the run, way later. So till then, the run's all about powering up, becoming very strong, and then once we get to 33 orbs, then we worry about that last orb. But that's going to be a while. In fact, we're probably going to do it in New Game Plus, because if we don't do it in New Game Plus, you have to do a whole duping orb thing, which, I mean, it's not too hard to do, but I've done that recently, so I don't know if I want to do that again. Ooh, look at this. Looks like we have a shop in our first zone in today's daily run. Heck yeah. Oh my god. Add mana this early? Thank god. I love it. Also, that plasma is not a bad one too, because it can dig, this plasma specifically can dig through the Holy Mountain and stuff, so that's pretty exciting. We also have green fungus in the first zone, so if anybody wants to do any fungal shifting, today's daily run has some really useful fungus. You know, I just realized I didn't convert my invis over to water. Let me see if I can find another flask. If I just pour out a speck of invis and then grab a drip of water, the whole flask will turn into regular water. Invis plus water just makes more water. But before I do that, I want to see, maybe I can use the invis if I can find a replacement flask. Let's do a little thievery. Alright, so we grab this orb. This is like hitbox number 1. Once it detects that your character has went into this spot, it doesn't matter if you grab the orb or not. It's now looking to see if you run into hitbox number 2. If you run into hitbox number 2, the boss will spawn. But whenever you're invis, it actually hides you from hitbox number 2. So we're going to hide from it. Boss does not see that we walk past it, so the boss does not spawn. One thing to keep in mind though is that if we did just like touch that spot maybe an hour later, the boss will spawn in instantly. So you got to be kind of careful with that. Oh, is that another shop? Heck yeah. double shops in today's daily. I don't like all the acid everywhere. That part's a little bit annoying. Interesting. Okay, this early is actually really, really nice. Now, acid, you could use acid as a way to escape. But instead, I'll get the other plasma spell, and that'll dig through the holy mountain anyways. Also, if you're curious why this energy orb is one of the best early digging spells that you can find. So we'll definitely be able to dig all over the place like it's nothing. Once we are able to edit onto a wand, that is. How do you get back up after Snowy Depths without black holes, loomies, or other spells? After Snowy Depths, so that's the big commit moment. Once you go past Snowy Depths, you're pretty much saying that you need to get some kind of teleport liquid, like teleportadium, you know, to jump between the mountains or go back. Luminous Drill, black hole, worm, the worm spell. The good news is if you're in a run and you're already past the Snowy Depths, meaning, if you're curious why they're specifically saying Snowy Depths, let me show you why they point that out. Because Snowy Depths, which is the first snow zone, does have a natural spawning little exit where you can get all the way back to the surface without having any digging at all. You can just get it. But they're saying once you go past Snowy Depths, once you want to jump in one of these portals, you've committed to this point. How the heck do you get back up? And there really is only one way, I guess, technically, which, so say you're going down through here and you still haven't gotten any good digging. You could try to go into the portal that's under this lava. It's very dangerous, but when you do that, it actually takes you, you empty out the lava first, obviously, if you can. It takes you to this point here, and then you climb this deadly tower.
He is drenched in sweat.
And then if you make it to the top of this tower, it gives you a prize, and then you get to take this portal, and that will take you to the surface. You could use that method, but that is very dangerous. Realistically, the best way to go about it is once you have committed to this point here where you don't have the, you know you can't go back through the easy method, you just keep searching. There will be a spell, almost guaranteed. It would be insanely unlikely for you to clear all of this zone. Oh, actually, I wouldn't even once you're in this zone, you don't have black hole or any Illumini or anything good. I would commit to the jungle to be that zone. You're like, hey, I'm going to find something that can help me dig very well. Jungle, I think your chances are pretty good. You'll get something. If you still haven't got something, that's when you have to actually explore more of the vault. When you're in the vault, you know me, when I hit the vault, I usually go through it pretty quickly. It is a pretty spicy zone. You know, there's giant vats of acid and stuff. It's pretty dangerous. But in this one, this is the one of the rare times I say, well, it looks like I may have to do a bit of exploring in a deadly zone like the vault, just trying to find some better digging. And so through the vault and through the like through the temple, there is going to be digging somewhere. Like I can confidently say today we will find some really good digging. I don't know where it's going to be. I have no idea, but we will find it. I'm not too concerned. It's all about being thorough. If you're curious why there's plants in here, this is a biome modifier. It's not, it's one of the ones I don't like very much. It's pretty annoying. My favorite modifier is probably feeling roomy. I do like all because it allows you to get around the zone so quickly. There's so much space. That is a good biome modifier. The plant one is annoying because it does the opposite. Anytime there's little openings, plants grow between it, making it even more restricted. You have to shoot the plant bulbs. If you shoot the bulb here, eventually it'll pop, and then when it dies, then it usually will catch fire, and then it burns, and finally you can move through a space that normally you would have been able to just walk through no problem anyways. Ooh, a gold pouch. Gold pouch represent that you'll get a free 1,000 gold from it, because that's how much the pouch is usually should be holding. Damn plant guy. That's annoying. Ooh, shit. Could even be worth missiling him just because it's going to take so long to kill him, but I only have one missile left. I forget, can I outrange that? Let's see. Yeah. Again, this is part of that biome modifier. Very annoying to get an enemy like this really early. I don't know, sometimes I feel like the game isn't exactly balanced for some of these biome modifiers. Imagine being a new player and you run into one of those guys. Like, what? What the hell? That was a new guy supposed to realize what the heck's going on. Like, it's a boss! I found a boss! He's not dying. Also keep in mind, if you're curious why this left side we're not really seeing any of those plants, that's because the left side is a separate biome, meaning that it has the potential to have a different biome modifier or no biome modifier compared to the main zone, which is where you first enter. So you can tell you're in a different zone because it'll say location collapsed mines. That other area, the main zone with the plants growing, that was just the mines. Collapsed mines is a pretty small zone over here though, not a lot going on. As a child, I yearned for the collapsed mines. What? Alright, we got some stuff. Interesting opener, Tinker. I feel like I get Tinker so often whenever I'm doing YouTube videos, which is probably for the best because then it makes it where I don't have to do a lot of backtracking because I can just edit on the fly. But my original plan was to use Plasma Cutter. This can actually dig through Holy Mountain terrain, like that. And so I can dig out of the mountain and then I can come back into the zone and edit whenever I would like to. But now with Tinker, there won't be much of a purpose to it, actually. It's just going to be kind of wasteful. So I'm going to go ahead and empty out my gold pouch. If you pour it like this, the thing that's a little bit annoying is sometimes when I pour it like this, is you're catching a lot of it back in the pouch. Not a ton, but some of it gets caught back in the pouch. And then whenever you shoot the pouch, when you lay it on the ground, it does explode, but sometimes the gold can upwarp a little bit and you lose some of the gold. So the safest way is something like this, where you just pour it and it can be a little on the slow side. So what we could do is just go Spark Bolt, Fireball Orbit. That's it. Once you have Tinker with Wands everywhere, there's not much of a reason to leave the mountain intact. Like, there's not much of a reason for me to dig out of here unless I wanted to try to do the whole thing where you can collapse the mountain and get a pacifist chest, and that's a rant for another time. So let me just go ahead and collapse it. We do still have our heal in the mountain. We'll come back for that later. Oh, there's a chest there, which dropped a bomb. So Fireball Orbit is one of those that as you learn Noita, whenever you run into the spell, you instantly are like, yeah, I'm not using that spell because, I mean, a ton of spells in Noita are like, ooh, cool, and they just kill you. And it seems like Fireball Orbit would be just another one of those spells. But that's not really the case. It will burn you from time to time and you can hurt yourself. But as long as you're playing a little bit cautious with it, the value that it gives you is pretty huge. It's definitely worth the trouble. You'll probably see me burn myself a couple times with it, but it's not one of those that I expect to just, if I make a mistake, I just insta-die. You know, like lightning. The lightning spell is also one of those spells that's pretty great, but the problem is if you make a mistake, like you swim in water with the electricity, you can pretty much insta-kill yourself. That's not going to happen with the Fireball Orbit. Also, keep in mind that Fireball Orbit, ooh, this is a non-shuffle. I'm going to do some swapping real fast. And then this digging goes here, and then we just get rid of the starter wand, and now we got pretty good digging. Got that going. In fact, we could even speed that up. 2 shots at a time. Alright, we're in a good place. But yeah, the Fireball Orbit is that one spell that kind of, whenever I try to tell people, you know, don't worry about meta progression. It's not going to affect anything, but the Fireball Orbit is the one that I always feel it's necessary to rant about because it is a meta progression spell. It is one of the only ones that you really will have it kind of affect your future runs. This is a daily run, so because of that, the spell will be the same even if you haven't. Like, the Holy Mountains aren't affected by your unlocks on the daily. So everybody who plays today will get it. But if this was a random seed, the Fireball Orbit spell only shows up for people that have killed the dragon at some point in their Noita life. And it is one of those that is very, like, it's worth having. Like, you want to have that in your spell pool. I know, I like to think of Noita as a no meta progression game, and I wish it didn't work that way, but it is the one worth mentioning. Greek and copy spells, divide bys, those are meta in technicality, meaning like, yes, you do get them unlocked, but in this run right here today, if somebody says, oh, do you have your Greek letter spells unlocked? Oh, you have killed them before? Oh, good, because it'll help you get the... No, it's like, no, realistically, what's going to happen is I'm going to kill the alchemist at some point in today's run. It will give me the Greek letters, and I will use those. So that's why it's not really a noteworthy, like, unlock, because you pretty much just do the thing over and over to get the Greek letters. Fireball Orbit, that's not necessarily the case. The Fireball Orbit shows up very early, and that's when it's the most useful. If I went and killed the dragon and got Fireball Orbit, by the time that you're at the dragon and you can kill the dragon, Fireball Orbit's pretty wasteful. It's not really that high a value. Its value's in the early game. Divide by, same thing. We're probably going to need divide bys today, so what I'll do is I'll do the chest, the coral chest to get some divide bys, and then from there, depending on what I get, I may head down to hell and shop around for some divide bys as well. Get away from me. Also, you'll notice whenever I'm using Fireball Orbit, I tend to not aim the Spark Bolts always directly at the enemy. Sometimes I intentionally aim like above them, because I like instead of the Spark Bolt itself hitting them, I kind of am more interested in the Fireballs hitting them, because they'll do more damage to the enemies. In what zone do wands stop having restrictions? It's after the first zone. So where we're at now, this is where you start to... you can see like all this kinds of craziness. There still are restrictions in the terms of like... there's like a range for like the stats. They call it wand tiers. The tier of a wand means like its potential stats. The higher the tier, I don't know why I just did that so badly. Come on. The higher the tier, the better the potential stats of the wand can be. So the wand tier that we're moving into now obviously is slightly better than the previous zone, which tends to be, you know, the progression. But then the previous zone, the first zone, the wands are pre-designed, meaning like the spells that are on it, all that the devs chose. On here, it just grabs them from a pool of spells. It doesn't, like this wand right here was just randomly generated. Like it just threw a cast delay on there, given like a potential on the tier, given the recharge tier potential, all that kind of stuff. It's all like just random. The devs did not sit there and choose how this wand should be built. I think all of these that we have right now are that way. I don't... This one actually, maybe we carried this from the first zone. This does look like a first zone one. It's not a big deal. If anybody's confused on what we're talking about, basically the devs pre-designed the wands, except for wands that drop from chests. All the wands that are on the pedestals were pre-designed by the devs in the first zone to allow for consistency in Noita. It doesn't guarantee consistency, but it makes it less variance, so that people aren't like, oh my god, I got so unlucky, or oh my god, I got so lucky, which I guess still happens anyways. But the second zone onwards, that's where you start to see like more of the wand lottery, where you're like, holy crap, this wand is crazy. What's the easiest way to apply the weakening debuff to yourself? Anything that makes it hurt the player. So any spell that's eligible to hurt the player. For example, arrow can hurt the player. So if you were to just put a weakening curse debuff on that arrow spell and then have a way to like bounce it into your black hole. See, two ways to do some pretty good digging. We're gonna choose the black hole, obviously. Piercing tends to be the most common way that people apply a debuff to themselves, because if you put piercing on like a spark bolt, piercing removes so much damage that the spark bolt actually does 0 damage. So it's okay to have a piercing spell, a piercing spark bolt near you. Some spells have so much damage that the piercing only removes like half of the damage. So that spell is still scary, because if you pierce it into your character, yeah, it's only doing half damage, but it can hit you over and over and over repeatedly. So it's very easy to kill yourself accidentally with that. Look at that, we got a hidden heart right here. Know your formations, kids. Helps you find some HP. Not all the wands in the first zone are pre-made. From the wiki, there's an 88% chance that any given Minds wand is a pre-made wand. The rest are random. Really? I thought it was every single one. I guess because the pool is so small that even the ones that break out of that 88% chance are so restricted that they just seem like they're pre-designed. You know what I mean? Like you see the same wand graphics. You see pretty much the same spells. That's good to know though. So 88%, not 100%. But I'm pretty sure after you get to that zone, none of the wands are. Besides, like, you know, like quest wands. Those are pre-designed in some way. Why not putting add mana on your wand to keep firing it? All right, let me show you how that would appear. How would we want to do it? I guess it wouldn't be like the worst ever there, but it wouldn't be like the best. It's not a terrible idea. So if you had it here, it would be... I mean, it's a little slow. You have like a slow consistency. The issue is that we're adding 0.17, And this doesn't even cancel out the mana cost of the Fireball Orbit, so I'm like, eh. But having it, wrapping with it, I guess, instead of the double isn't the worst call. Because this one here is really fast. If you like, boom, boom, shoots real quick. Like, those are double shots happening every time. But like you're saying, we're running out of mana so quick. So maybe slowing it down just slightly to have a longer, to be able to shoot it more could be a good call. So I'll do the upgrade. That's what makes Noita fun, is there's always little optimizations that some people are like, I don't need that. And other people are like, yeah, I like that change. As long as you're keeping yourself alive, I mean, that's literally all that matters. There isn't necessarily a right or wrong way. There's some people that intentionally slow down their damage builds just so that they can be a little more cautious from like accidentally shooting propane tanks. So you'd say, well, that's lower DPS. It's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, is it more likely to keep them alive? If so, then it's the right move for them. Oh my gosh, this is not my... Something is spamming bouncing bursts. You piece of shit. It better not be a swapper. What the fuck, man? Oh, there it is. He died. Ooh, that is a good one. Look at that. That is pretty exciting. You know what we could try to do? It's kind of crazy. Let's see. Let's empty out the missiles. So this one missile, let's shoot it. So it has 0 charges. How would we go about this? So if we were to put down... So these remove 0.03. Damn. That's only 0.09 removed. I want something that removes cast delay. I was hoping to do some kind of double heavy spread onto a 0 charge magic missile. And in this case, we won't be able to get rid of all of that. But if we were to put that on there, I think we'd remove a significant amount, you know. If we were to do that, let's see, what does this look like? Take that off. What do we... It goes a little too fast. Basically what we've done is we've added like some... It's not really like... I mean, it's not really doing a big deal. You could probably just do this and you'd be just as happy. Some wands you will see a significant change, and this one... It's not like a huge deal. But yeah, you can do heavy spreads on something like a magic missile and try to gain the benefits of the minus recharge time, put it on a 0 charge spell, and not have to deal with the inaccuracies because the spell has 0 charges. But in this case, it's not really working out the best. So we just find a couple more spells and we probably can make it into something a lot more exciting. I'll just use this for the moment. I would not want to swap the Spark with the Bouncing Burst, because when you shoot Bouncing Burst Fireball Orbit, you are a lot more likely to accidentally injure yourself, see? But Spark Bolt, on the other hand, much safer to use with Fireball Orbit. We'll find a better wand in a bit. This wand, I mean, not better wand, we'll find some better spells that'll help us so that we can make this wand look badass, I think. We're close to something wild. Close to greatness. Well, that's okay. Well... yeah, we kind of got some OP stuff now. I was trying to do something with the heavy spreads, but the game was like, instead of doing stuff with the heavy spreads, what if you just had a chainsaw? Magic. So wait, yeah, like that. Well, we got that going. We got some damage. The problem I have with using the Fireball Orbit at this point is that the zone that we're heading into, like this zone here, it's got swappers and stuff. So if you're just spraying tons of damage out like that, we could swap ourselves into the damage. Probably not be super happy with it. And since we're already firing so fast anyways, why greed? We're already kind of just massacring stuff. You know what we could do is we could put down another double and put down 2 spark bolts, wrapping now. We get more spark bolts per shot. We could do the energy sphere as well, but then we get a little bit of recoil. Also, I think in this case we can move that there, and there we go. Now we got every frame. In this case, you would have this here if you're using more expensive stuff like the... well, even if you're using the energy sphere on this, so we have them on it to do it. Oh, stay back. Hold up. Enemies are being a little annoying, not letting me discuss stuff. Yeah, they're really not much of a reason. We don't have too many spells that are expensive, but if you ever were using something super expensive, that's where you want to wrap it, so you can get the ad manas twice. You get 60, but in our case, these are only costing us 10, so this 30 is more than enough to get rid of all of that. So there's no reason to wrap it. Just have the chainsaw at the end, and we are blasting. Wait, where did he go? I need him. Need one of his flasks. Oh, that guy's got a wand. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. So, that was kind of scary. That could be how you lose a run. Guy was shooting out some explosive boxes, which we could use that as an alchemist killer, maybe. So really, if I was playing like more optimally, the moment I found the black hole, what I should do to actually get to play this safer, I guess it's kind of, since I'm doing it for YouTube, I should at least mention, because every move I make isn't necessarily the optimal move. It's more of like, what do I feel like doing at the time? It's kind of how Noita is. What feels like fun? I try to show off the optimal stuff a lot of the times, but doesn't mean I'm always making the optimal choices. So what I should have done with the black hole, the moment I see it, is I recognize, oh, black hole, and I also now have luminous drill. That means you can go to the next mountain, get another perk, check out the wands in case there's anything useful. There could be a perk such as explosion immunity, and then when I travel back up to the previous level, if an enemy busts out a wand that had nukes on it and it blows up, it's like, wow, that would have killed me. But because I used the black hole or whatever good digging to pre-check the next mountain, it can save your entire run. In this case, though, it wasn't the most exciting stuff. And I'm going to go with a reroll here. Remember, we are doing a 34 orb run today, so make choices that hopefully will help us out. All-Seeing Eye is pretty nice for a 34 orb run. Yeah, that's the schmoove. So again, I have no reason to dig out the mountain in a way that, like Black Hole, there's no reason to piss off the gods because I have Tinker. So I collapse it on purpose, and then I can just grab like the Black Hole and just shoot it directly up. I dug in a crappy way. Yeah, if you did that better, you should be able to do it in 2, but it's like we're going with 3. So make sure we left the heal. We don't want to go wasting that heal. But now that we have All-Seeing Eye, it means that, imagine you're going into this zone and it's balanced in such a way that it expects you to have like 1 perk, and just having that second one could, you know, it's just an advantage. I should have pointed that out earlier, because you never know, that mountain could have also had, like, it could have been where the chainsaws came from. They could have been in the Holy Mountain rather than in this zone. It's one of those runs where we just got great resources early. I mean, at first you see the ad mana on its own, and you're like, well, that's exciting, but we didn't have the stuff to really make it shine, but it didn't take long. And remember, if we didn't get this this chainsaw, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, because we'd still be able to rely on the luminous drill. That's another one that we could have both fast wand and good digging with. And pheromone. Oh shit! I was not paying attention to that. That could have been bad. We want to get... This guy looks a little scary, actually. It's a pheromoned wand. We got to get him dead before he kills us. The plasma killed him. He wouldn't intentionally. I guess maybe if you get Berserkium on you, he can get pissed off. Yeah, sometimes that floating wand, let's say it had nukes on it. Say that wand that was floating around just happened to have nukes. Well, he wouldn't just see you and fire nukes at you. But if he saw an enemy nearby, it's supposed to be helping you. So it'll be like, oh, don't worry, I'll kill this enemy for you. And it will fire off the nukes. So clearly we're going to be caught in the blast radius because we were right next to him. That's why you like to get rid of those, because it's just too much, you know, little AI is too dumb to actually be a good partner. So the only reason I'm backtracking for this spell kind of sucks, and it'll depend on the situation. There's useful moments. But I may actually end up using this return spell as our teleport build today. There's a chance. I hope it doesn't come to that. But you always got to be planning ahead. Especially when you're doing a 30-forward run. I don't want to be at the mercy of RNG saying, hopefully I find a teleport. Well, it's like, well, you were given return. You can make return into a teleport one. You just have to be creative. What is the single best early game spell a wand can have in your opinion? The single best early game spell? I'm only allowed to choose one. Meaning like it needs to operate on its own. You can't be like add mana and chainsaw because obviously these are complementing each other. And I can't just say just chainsaw because chainsaw does work well with a ton of other spells. But it does need other spells. It doesn't need specific other spells, but it usually just needs something else, you know, to play off of it. So I'm picturing just a single spell on a wand. What would I want that single spell to be? Ooh, it's the shop. Not expanding sphere. Screw expanding sphere. Well, teleport and black hole are definitely amazing. But the problem is, I would imagine they're meaning in the sense of like, if you have one spell, one wand, and you have to go through a zone. I guess I'm making up this criteria in my head. So that's in the scenario. Obviously, a teleport bolt on its own, super helpful. You can get around the map very conveniently. Big deal. But you can't kill anything. Depending on most of the time, you can't kill anything. Single black hole, you can now dig around. Helps a ton. You do have limited charges, but at least you can get through like really rough terrain, no problem. It's gonna be kind of a weird choice. Because most people probably expect a different answer. But I would say something like an energy sphere really early is pretty hype. Which is this spell right here. This spell can be used to kill enemies. It does okay damage. And it also digs very well. It's one of those that like when you get it early, I'm always like, okay, I'm going to be able to get to great resources. This is like a spell that like helps you get to other great resources. And it can do a little, it can dig, and it can kill enemies. I'd say it's definitely up there on the list. Luminous Drill is good, because it does dig, and it can kill enemies, but because of its range, you need like modifiers and stuff for it to really like shine, so I guess that probably wouldn't count in the criteria that I'm like laying out. Oh, did I say energy sphere? Thank you, chat, for correct. They're like energy sphere. No, energy orb. This is energy sphere. Sorry, I'm mixing up the names. Energy sphere. No, this is a starter spell. Not a fan. Not a fan. I mean, I don't like it very much because it's not the worst starter spell. But energy orb, which is what I meant to be saying. Energy orb is pretty hype. Like I said, you can get all around, get all your resources, do damage. I'd say its biggest downfall is that it doesn't actually shoot like really far. Like the spark bolt travels so much farther. Because of that, it makes it where in snowy depths, sometimes the enemies can close the like they can be a little ways away from you and you can't kill them, so they're getting closer and closer to you, which gets scarier and scarier. That is why you don't open chests in water. That would have been the run. Don't give Noita the opportunity. Is it possible to shift the color of the heart pickup particles? Do you mean like at the moment, like when you grab it, it does that little effect? Yes. I didn't even pay attention. I shot directly. I didn't even notice it. It was literally right there. Didn't even see it. Yeah, like there's like a little particle effect that happens after the pickup. That one can be shifted. If you're talking about when the heart sits there, if it has some like little glow to it or something, maybe I don't know about that one. But yeah, for the particles at the moment of pickup, definitely can change. And what we're gonna do real quick is let's check the mountain and probably set up a healer station. Another chainsaw. Oh, for a moment I thought we had summoned Taikasova. Thought we were about to go mad. I will grab the extra perk. Yeah, I'll grab the extra perk since we are doing a longer run today. And then this next move may be a little weird for what I usually do, but I will be grabbing the heart early because I want to go back up, and I think I want to explore a little bit more. At least maybe I'll go check in the normally the dark zone, but we have all-seeing eye, you know, that little temple area. But instead, we can see in there. I just want to go get a healer setup, I guess, in this area. This zone, one of the first things that I do for long runs is try to get some kind of re-heal method in here. In case I get really unlucky, everything goes terribly, I know I can fall back to the Hisi base and I can re-heal there if everything else is not going according to plan. And then while we're here, we'll also fix, because we have 2 broken wands, so we'll repair those. We got a healer there. Oh, look at this. This is perfect. Oh no, healer! Stop being on fire! So this guy right here is exactly what we wanted. Because now we can just kick this, and our healer will always try to heal him, except for the fact that I'm lubed up with oil like crazy. So you want to get the oil off your character so that you can stand on stuff, otherwise you're just slipping everywhere. So our main goal for this area was getting a nice healer station set up. It looks like we've already achieved that. So I like to try to get space from these healers once I have them alive. There's 3 healers there. Likely they'll find a way to kill themselves. They always do. I think some of the healers just died. Did 2 of them just die? Oh, come on. It was a double healer death. Oh my god, that was a healer. I thought it was an enemy dropping down to try to attack me. I don't know what caused them to drop down. Well, all my hard work collecting healers, and 1 piece of ice took out 2, and then I just shot the other one in the face. All my hard work for nothing. Oh! Did you see that? I got caught on that pixel, and it was... the wand flew after me. Tried to kill me. Tried to murder me. Okay, some pretty cool wands, though. Alright, we gotta set up another healer station. You know what's kind of funny is this wand here that we just found is actually in like, because of its capacity being so large, 10 capacity, the rest of the stats kind of become irrelevant. Like, so for example, I get people stopping by saying, what do I look for in a wand? And I'm not able to give good advice because the advice is simply, it depends on what spells you have. You know, everything's so situational. In majority of the time, people would look at this wand here and say, wow, you know, the stats are pretty solid. Same goes for this wand, both solid stats. But actually, this wand here kind of has the biggest potential out of all the wands that I have. Well, this one has 18 capacity, but I don't like that always kept. So let me show you. Sorry, I was yapping, and then all the subs happened. Thank you again for the support, you guys. Let me show you why this wand, though, is kind of special, just because of its capacity and its wand recharge time. So let's say that we strip away some of these spells, and then we just move over, I don't know, that, you know, and already this wand can start rapid firing because its recharge time is so low, it just needs a single chainsaw that's wrapping, and it can pop off. So you could do something... And again, this is possible on those other ones too, but we could add in lots of modifiers, all kinds of stuff, and we have 2 extra slots compared to the other ones. I think the larger one was 8 capacity. Yeah, both of these were 8 capacity. This one has a 10 capacity. The add manas are going to do all what is necessary in terms of mana pool, and then from there we just want as many slots to add things to as possible. That's why I had the lightning there, mainly for fun. We may end up doing some kind of build with it, so I'll keep holding on to it for a little bit longer. It's kind of scary to fire. Yeah, we could get ourselves killed by it, so we're not gonna goof with it too much. You know what we could do? Let's see this. We have one more projectile that we want to add there that won't give us crazy recoil. I don't think so. So yeah, our recoil is going to be a little brutal. You can put the modifiers. They don't have an exact spot they need to be. Just somewhere within this group is fine. Okay, since we're wanting to bring a healer to this general area, you want to disarm all wands. If there's nothing on the wand, no always cast, then the healer won't pick it up. That way I can roll him out as being annoying with it. And then we just dig a clear path for our friend. Hello, friend. And then head over this direction. We have a tank. And then we go over to the tank. We kick it. Get some nice heals. He's healing the snow. Healer, get up here. Need your heals, right? Want you at least in a safe spot in case I need heals later. Oh, another healer. We got double healers. Double rainbow. Oh my god, I just stabbed the healer in the face because I looked away for a second. I was looking up here because I wanted to see this guy if he's gonna grab that wand. And when I looked to the left, there was an enemy right next to me. I just stabbed him. Oh my gosh, you just killed. God damn it. That one wasn't me. That was his friend. Yeah, usually you're not supposed to really hang around Hesi base, but I've just been living in it this run. But you know what we can do while we're over here? Okay, no, healer, don't. Okay, he's coming. He's coming. We can use the fish.
Hi Dunk. First time chatter here. I love the content and your personality. You are probably the best streamer on Twitch and you also look great. Don't change a thing. Please remove this part of the message to receive your $10.
Hilarious, not paid chatter. Hilarious. Kitty Claw, thank you for the 17-monther again. I appreciate you. So yeah, the idea is you injure the fish, the healer will try to heal the fish, and you just intercept the heals, just like the other stuff, you know. Again, you only need one healer for that one. Pretty nice one. Oh, we don't have any, we don't have teleportanium, so we're not going to check the free area yet. So as one of your videos that you said it's very good to have 2 explosive projectiles, but why exactly? I mean, we have one right now, so I can't show it exactly. I'm not sure if you're baiting. Maybe you're just like trying. Some people like to bait out a rant, or like, haha, I can trick them into ranting. But on the off chance that you're not baiting, the explosive projectiles are one of those modifiers that you can't really just hover on the tooltip and read it, and you understand everything it has to offer. Chainsaw at least kind of alludes to like there's more. It says it has magical properties at the end of its description. So then people say, well, what else is the magical properties? This one just doesn't mention it, but basically whenever it adds this explosion to spells, depending on how big the explosion radius is, will decide on how much damage it does. So certain spells already have a little bit of an explosion radius to them. And it's not, I don't even know if it's calling explosion radius is the right term. People who data mined it really like figured out exactly how it worked, so they could give you a much more detailed explanation on how it's working behind the scenes. But basically, the explosive projectile, picture like if you had a single, this little white dot is going to be like the normal radius of like an explosion, for example. Whenever you add, so a projectile flies in and hits something, there'll be a tiny point of impact. Call it point of impact, I guess, to make it less confusing. The explosive projectile adds to that like point of impact. There's a little radius to it. So it takes this explosion that would normally be about that size, and it increases it to, let's say, like this size. So now there's a slightly larger explosion that happens on it. There is a magical radius. This is not going to be a good circle, I know. This is a very terrible circle. Please bear with me. There's a magical radius around a projectile that if its explosion reaches this size, it will do 330 damage. So by adding 1, you increased its radius to this circle, right? So by adding another one, a lot of projectiles will, with two explosive projectiles added to it, actually increases its radius large enough that it is either it meets the criteria or it's slightly above that hidden radius. And because of that, it says, okay, add 330 explosion damage to it. Now, some projectiles, even after adding the second explosive projectile, it only reaches to like this point here. So it's really close, but it's not quite to that invisible radius that must be met. So you would have to add a third explosive projectile to then get it to reach it. So then once it reached that, then it would say, oh, plus 330 damage. So I'll show that in a bit. Right now we only have one though, so I really can't show it too well. This is also a diagram of how they do a boob reduction. All right. Well, you'll see. Hopefully that'll make sense. It's just I only have one of them right now, so I can't really go showing you the steps of the sizes and stuff. Oh wait, is there a chart here? Explosive projectile. Any visuals? They show here. The 2 is safe on these right here. 1 does big damage on these. Wait. A few spells with a radius of 17 or greater reach the 325 minimum damage threshold with a single copy. So this spell. Hold up, something's off. These will harm you without explosion immunity. Luminous Drill's not on the list. Am I missing something here? Where's Luminous Drill? Oh, exceptions. Friendly fire explosions. Ah, they put it in the exceptions category. Wait.
Drenched in sweat.
Okay, so these just meet these specific criteria. Spells without a radius will use the default of 20, which similarly only requires 1 explosive projectile. So they're saying this is one that doesn't fall into that category necessarily, but it is listed down here. But yeah, point is, there's a great the wiki. If you're curious, the wiki GG, do not use fandom. The wiki GG, so noita.wiki.gg, is full of great information. It is very helpful. If you're tired of listening to a sweaty nerd like me yapping about Noita, you just want to get to the point, you want to get the details. This place is fantastic. A lot of great community members actually put a lot of time and effort to like comb through this regularly, make sure it's up to date with the greatest information. And there's stuff all the time that I jump back to this wiki like daily, constantly being like, wait, how does this work again? And yeah, so it is fantastic. Not the fandom one though. Fandom one is outdated, abandoned, garbage. Why is fandom outdated? I want to rant. Honestly, I'm not the best person to speak on it because I'm a community member just like you guys. I'm not one of those people that keep the wiki up to date. I don't want to steal credit because those guys put a lot of time and effort, and it's hard work, right? Like a wiki, I mean, you're literally it's like writing a book on Noita, and those community members deserve a lot of praise. They're badasses because it's very helpful and it gets a lot of people into a game like Noita. It gets them, past that early stage of just struggling or annoyed with the game, and they get to actually enjoy it. But with that said, the wiki, the guys, I guess, I don't know where they collaborate, probably just in the main Noita Discord. They, when fandom went through this whole business model change where they started to just throw tons of ads at people. They were just spamming them. They were spamming ads on all users. So then users in communities were starting to switch. Not just Noita, other big ones like I think was Hollow Knight one of them. Terraria was one. Maybe Binding of Isaac. A ton of big communities. They were all doing it. So the Noita wiki guys got together and they agreed. Let's Minecraft move too. Okay, Minecraft, that's a big one right there. They all agreed. They wanted to move and they chose wiki GG. So again, I'm not like a person who was in on the decision or any of that stuff. I just was like informed, hey, we're moving the wiki because fandom has a really like kind of crappy business model and we don't want to support that anymore. The thing that sucks though is whenever you make that move, Fandom doesn't allow you to remove the information. You can't like post, hey, the wiki has moved, because obviously that would hurt them. They're like, no. So now you end up with this wiki that a lot of people go to, because when it's one of the top wikis that pops up, but all the information, there's a lot of it is inaccurate, not useful, and just leads to confusion. So it sucks, which basically just leads to more people being angry with fandom. Did you go to the iRoom? No, I still haven't been to the iRoom because we had we have to slow dig to it if we want to. So this right here normally would be kind of crappy. The 29 degrees spread is like, but remember, we have a reduce. So what we can do is just, yes, it does take up one of the slots to put this reduce on there. We still get 11 capacity, so it's pretty good. In this case, though, we would need, I guess we could just put down a quad. Put that there, I guess. I'm trying to make a decision right now. Do I want to check out the Walmart area early, or should I push onwards and see if we get better loots, and then we'll just come back up? Which one would you guys prefer in this moment? And we'll be doing another shop soon. Not yet, but soon. Which do you guys prefer? Test 60 says Walmart. Okay, a lot of people are saying Walmart. All right, we'll do an early Walmart. If you're curious, if you it can be a little bit dangerous because there's explosions. But if you survive the early Walmart, your run gets speeds up so much quicker than heading down and going through all that stuff. But it is a slight risk. But we're gonna take the risk because we do have Tinker with wands everywhere. I'm new in Noita's world, so everything like that looks like a pure math to me, and gosh, that's so cool. Applause. Oh, you're talking about the wand building? Yeah, the wand building, it can be, sometimes I like to show it off, but sometimes I feel like new guys think that you have to do calculations. The reality is you don't have to. Because a lot of us in the community are Noita addicts. We love to try to, create builds that go pretty damn fast, but a lot of times you can just kind of pack spells together. In fact, if you want, I'll show what would be kind of viewed as a more suboptimal build, but I also think it's easy to follow, and we'll do great with it. So we can just put down a spark trigger, a arrow trigger, and then we'll put the add manas after it, damage pluses after it, put down a 5 cast, and go 1, 2, 3. We're just putting 5 spells there. 4, 5. So there we go. 5 spells on a 5 cast, 2 damage pluses to add damage to these, add manas to help a little bit with that, and then the one last thing is our wand is very inaccurate because the wand has 29 degrees of spread. The more spread, the more inaccurate. So we'll put a reduced spread at the front, minus 60 degrees. Pretty accurate. Not doesn't need to do any crazy math. Pretty simple and straightforward. The concept is simply just use a trigger and a multicast, put lots of spells in it. And this will be good enough. We'll do more than enough damage that we can survive even the Walmart area, which is where we're going. Wrapping the chainsaws and all that would be better, for sure, in terms of DPS output. But is it necessary? No, we'll be able to kill everything that we need. Everything that we run into, that is. Why not kill the pyramid boss and try to get copy spell thrice? Yep, that's a great idea, D-Rocks. That's probably exactly what we'll do. I'll use this wand for a little bit, even if we get the copy random, just to show. Like I said, you don't need to have the most badass wand to survive. It's just about use the resources that have been thrown at you, pile them together, and you can usually do big damage. Keep on moving. We're heading over. It's a little slow right now because we don't have any teleports. We're going to be killing our first boss of the run. It's going to be the pyramid boss. And what we're hoping out of this boss, he can drop, there's a couple different spells he can drop. There's no guarantees on any of the spells. We're hoping that we get a Nala, which what it does is it kills a projectile immediately when it's cast. It may sound like a weird spell to hope for, but it can make something like Return pretty useful. Because Return, whenever I shoot the Return off, it hits the ground, and then look at this. After a little bit, it pulls your character to that point. Well, if I was to put Nala on the Return, we can pretty much make it into a teleport wand where we're just jumping all over the screen. It's not going to be the greatest teleport wand, but at least we'll have a teleport wand. It's better than nothing. So that's one of the things I'm hoping for. And then I'm also hoping for a copy spell wand. There's a different kind of copy randoms spells that it can drop. There's like 3 different ones, actually 4 different ones. I guess there is 4 if you count we're doing the, let's say just copy random. So there's 3 copy randoms, but then I guess if you count these, it gets a little bit confusing. But of the good ones, there's 3 that we want. We'll take any of them. They will allow us to copy other modifiers. So remember earlier where I said 1 explosive projectile, maybe it doesn't quite reach the radius that we need. Well, if you can copy it, then you can get more of them, increasing the explosion radius, meaning you might get that bonus. Not might, you will get that bonus damage that you were looking for. The statue looked kind of cool there. Didn't really notice it looking... It looked like a minion came to help him. It says, help her! Run for your lives! So now you see how to wait for him to open his mouth. See, no big deal. Couple damage pluses with all that. Big damage. We did get the copy randoms. We got a wand as well, which you always get. Let me just glance around to see if there is a mage before I go gathering those resources. I'm not seeing an easy heart mage. It's no big deal. I like to use the heart mage when I can because it just makes the run so much easier, but it's not necessary at all. It's not like you have to have a heart mage to get a god run going. So we're going to go ahead and grab the heart. Check the wand that he dropped. Ooh. That is kind of a crazy wand. I'll probably turn this into a future tele wand. So we have the copy random spell, and we have the copy random spell thrice. So we want both of these, I think. And there's orb number 5, because so now we are ready to go to New Game Plus in terms of orbs. I still have lots of other stuff I want to prepare, but remember, today we're going to New Game Plus so that we can do 34 orb run. We did not get a Nala, did we? So we can't turn our return into a good spell yet. But we did get the copy random, which I would like to utilize. We don't need 2 of these heavies. I would like to utilize with the explosive projectile. I'm not going to use it yet because, like I said, I wanted to show that this is good enough. And then later we'll swap it out. They are all... Look at this! What the hell is this seed? It's 5 Ukos. 6 Ukos just chilling. Oof. Just trying to clear them out. That is what I am focused on. There's another explosive projectile. So we have 2 just regularly. Arc one. Oh. Personal gravity field. Is that what you guys like? We can do that if you guys want. Basically, it's an always cast gravity field. It's okay. It's pretty cool. Some people really love it in the community. I'm always like, yeah, it's alright. But what makes it special is that normally Gravity Field is not really that popular because it has 20 charges. And it even tells you here, 20 charges. But as an always cast, it's infinite. Even though it tells you 20 charges, it will never run out. But it's a kind of a cool wand to swap over to. And in this case, the capacity on it's like insane. It's maxed out essentially. This causes our wand to slow down a ton. I think what I'm gonna do, because we already used this for a bit, you got the idea, I think, of how it works a little bit. Probably gonna need to wrap the ad manas to make sure that we can always sustain. So the idea is if you hit them once, but you don't kill them, they have this little area around them that will suck in projectiles. That is true. We can add in our modifiers and stuff, can't we? The ones that... we have the double explosive projectile, which... probably... I mean, we could... I was actually wanting to show that mainly in action in a bit, so... add that and that for now. And the linear arc. Dude, modifiers for days. So we call this area Wand Mart since you're pretty much just shopping around looking at wands, seeing like, do I want this? Do I want this? Tons of good stuff to work with. I don't trust that wand. we may actually go grab the Dark Cave heal, just to get our health into a much less scary place. So I put both of my damage pluses on my Luminous Drill so that my wand recoils more strongly, you know, harder. And this will allow me to be this is my current traveling wand, since we don't have teleports. Did you pick the daily with no teleport bolts to do a 34 orb? I may have. But it's got everything else. I mean, the pacing of our run is, I'd say, not bad right now, considering, like, we've only been to 3 holy mountains. Alright. Grab this. The odds, the statistics on it being like that area most likely has what you're looking for is kind of crazy. Oh yeah, why'd I get the egg? We have All-Seeing Eye. But there's the heal. But we aren't necessarily interested in the heal. We want this one first. And now we got the heal. If you're curious why we had the egg basically, when you hatch that worm, if you shoot him, he bleeds this worm blood, and then the worm blood, when you drink it, gives you the ability to like see through walls and stuff. But I had already grabbed a perk that was letting me do that anyway, so I was like, oh well, what's the point? Do we still have a statue here? Yes, we do. So earlier somebody was asking about the explosive projectile. Was it bait? Maybe. But this should be a good example of it. One spark bolt hitting the statue is 3 damage. It makes sense. It says it does 3 damage. Hits the statue, does 3 damage. It all adds up. One explosive projectile on the spark bolt goes from doing 3 damage to 8 damage. Only a 5 damage increase for 30 mana. It's garbage. Not really worth it. But if you put a second explosive projectile, remember I showed you the radius, I pulled it up on paint just like a couple hours ago. It increases the radius, so now the spark bolt with 2 explosive projectiles has a radius large enough that it gets the plus 330. So then there you shoot this, or I say 330, it says 328, so it's probably plus 320, something like that. So there you go, 328 damage on a single spark bolt. So we're going to take the double explosive projectile idea, and we're going to attach it to our entire payload. So that this explosive projectile and this explosive projectile is attached to this, and this. I want to shoot at the statue. A solid, what does it say, like 3,000 damage or some crap. So point is big damage. It won't. The math is a little bit exaggerated there because the trigger does fire off twice on that statue, but it's big damage. That's all you need to know. So the moment you have a wand that has really big explosions like this, if you have decent digging and decent other resources, you should instantly be like, oh, it's alchemist time, because big explosions is an easy alchemist killer. Like, the fight becomes kind of a joke. Unless the arena fills with polymorphine and stuff, and then the fight gets a little bit crazy. So our goal here is to shoot the alchemist in the crotch. If you shoot him with an explosive in the lower region of his body, he usually hits. Oh my god, it is polymorphine. Fuck that. We want to grab the spells that we need before this fills the arena. There we go. Let me grab this key while I can. But yeah, it was a real quick kill. I normally would have shown him for a second and kind of talked about the alchemist a little bit, since we may post it to YouTube. But the moment I see that there's polymorphine pouring into that arena, you don't fuck around. That's like that's unstable polymorphine specifically, I believe, is the poly that we were seeing there. And yeah, that's very risky. I don't like it. And now that we got the Greek letters means that we have infinites, so something like these black holes. We don't need any of the charged ones. We just need to take the 0 charges and say, hey, let's go gamma, cast a copy of the last spell on your wand. Black holes in the last spot. We shoot this. Oh, it's good to go. Also, if you ever have lots of add manas, but you feel like your wands are terrible, this wand right here is a wand that add manas can fix the mana pool, because mana max of 2 means a wand can't work, but the add manas then make it where it does work, and it's a 20 capacity wand. But in our case, we already have one that's 26 capacity, We're not going to need that. And the perks are kind of terrible. This could be useful for the end of everything, but we're not going to go with that one, I don't think. Also kind of garbage. Damn. Guess we just grabbed the extra life. That's crazy that we wasted so many rerolls. Has Dunk used ChatGPT today? No? What? Don't use it that often. What are you talking about? You have it generate you one victory speech, and chat never lets you hear the end of it. Dragon should be a bit of a joke. Yep. Oh, Anala. This is okay. Interesting. So we could change from our current telly method or moving method, which is this, using the recoil, and we could say, hey, damage pluses, you sit this out. Instead, we're gonna move the return spell onto this, so you cast it like this, and it puts it right there, and after a bit it pulls us to it. So if you were to spam it, okay, that was supposed to be a heart, chat. That was for you. maybe it looked a little bit deformed. Listen, that is my heart after eating too much McDonald's. Ah, close. Close. There you go. So the idea is return obviously as a telly method would be terrible because it's just too delayed. He loves this, chat. Nothing but love. Nothing but love. Wait, can we do a sweat drop? That's supposed to be a sweat drop that may look like a penis. Was not my intention. Alright, so we put it all on there, and now when we cast it, it's kind of like this funky telling method. It's a little weird. I think it's going up is good, but going down's kind of garbage. I wonder if we put that speed up on there, if we'll be like, oh, it's helping it some. I don't think it will help at all, but try it out. Waving at the YouTube peeps, right? Can we say hi to YouTube? You're saying hi right now. He just says, yay, yay. All right, that took a whole 2 seconds for you guys to get a little degenerate. All right, control yourselves, chat. Keep your pants on. I think we're gonna go with the double damage plus now. We're just gonna leave this for now. We'll get a better build going soon, I'm sure. Just a matter of time. Actually, we can free up a chainsaw. By freeing up a chainsaw, we can now... There we go. What's your favorite perk that doesn't necessarily make the game easier, but makes it more fun? Glass Cannon is like gonna be a chat favorite. The problem I have with Glass Cannon is that obviously you get like, you tanks your HP and everything, which, you know, that's the danger of it. That's the whole point. But it also kind of kills the creativity of wand building, because now you just, you know, it's got some spark bolts and, you know, you don't need much, and you're just doing huge damage, so you really don't need to do a lot of wand building either. But it is fun. The explosions being ridiculously huge, all that kind of stuff. That part is pretty dang fun. Concentrated spells is just pure damage. Yeah, Tinker is pure quality of life and enjoyment, not necessarily making your run OP. It's just like, oh, now I don't have to walk back and forth to the Holy Mountain like a billion times. I don't know, I guess, yeah, Glass Cannon, Tinker, those have to be the ones that come to mind. Because, like, if we had Glass Cannon right now, these explosions would be insane. Like, as we're shooting our wand, it would just, the whole screen would just be filled up with explosions. We may also be dead, but it's a minor detail. The dice is nice. Let's roll it. No payout yet, but that didn't have anything good that we wanted to pay out for. Does black hole pull return along with it? Oh, that'd have been a pretty creative idea. Like you're saying, just like you cast it and then. The thing is, the black hole that we currently have goes too fast. It's kind of that's a cool idea though, dude. So you would do a slower black hole, so at least pulls it like you know, somewhere reasonable. Yeah, let's see if you were to do. Dude, that's a great idea. Because I may use that in the future. There, you see, thinking creatively right there. Mo Inifio? We'll call him Mo. I'm gonna butcher this. That was a great idea. See, that's what I love about Noita. Sometimes you just gotta have somebody thinking creatively, and then you're like, oh fuck, true, that makes sense, because the black hole will pull the return. And even though it'll be a little bit slow, the whole point is, the reason you want to use the return method is that when you're walking around, like if you have a stain of ambrosia, and you're just walking around, as you're walking around, it's the ambrosia is drying off of you. So if you can like use teleport, or use something that teleports your character's not walking, so it's not drying, so it keeps the ambrosia stain on you. So in this case, you'd have the ambrosia stain on you, you would cast the return spell, then you would cast black hole, it carries the return, so we have 37% on our character, and see, we still have the ambrosia stain, and yet we are able to cover a good amount of distance. Yeah, we haven't found Telly yet so far this run. I also wasn't very thorough in the vault or... Oh my god. You little bastard. Oh my goodness. Keep them away from me. I wasn't exactly the most thorough in the later zones. Once I got strong enough, I figured we'll head to Parallel Worlds, and then while we're grabbing perks in Parallel Worlds, since we are doing a 34 orb run, it doesn't hurt to go to Parallel Worlds and get the extra perks anyways, and then while I'm doing that, I can luck into, hopefully, some Tellys. We still got small one. For some reason, I was seeing we're at Big Steve by now. So he's big now. Fire immunity. Oh, and we get to get the Breathless. And I don't want the other stuff. I had to grab Breathless because chat, you take my breath away. It's true. With your stupidity, yes. Lumi timer for return. Ooh, that's true too. So we were talking Lumi timer into this, return that. And then we can just speed that up. The butt protector, I'm trying to decide if that's going to complicate anything today for our 34 orb run. I don't think that'll complicate anything today. Okay, we got that. Gas blood. I don't plan to build any long distance telewand today. Shouldn't need to. But yeah, if I had a long distance telewand, this could mess it up big time. Long distance telewand, they're talking about the ones, you know, jumping parallel worlds and stuff. Repulsion field. Are there going to be any issues with the end of everything? Cessation? I don't think so. You're doing 34 orb run. Why would you not want to use a long distance telewand? The time it takes to piece together a long distance telewand is sometimes just about as long as long distance telewand building itself, depending on how the resources, if they show up conveniently or not. Yeah, I think it's the play. We're taking it, keeping us safe. Again, if you don't know why I'm not taking the portals, it's because whenever you're in parallel worlds in Noita, the portals connect back to the main world, and we aren't looking to go back to the main world. We're farming resources here. Adding more explosive means better damage. It barely increases the damage. Do you remember the drawing I did earlier? Chat, please. Hold on. So remember, a normal explosion here. The idea is when you add an explosive projectile, it takes the point of impact and it increases the size to here. And a second explosive projectile increases the size to here. Whenever it reaches that dotted line, it adds the 300 in whatever damage. Well, somebody was saying if you add even more explosive projectiles, how does that work? Well, you have to zoom back more, and there's actually an even further back dotted line again. So what would happen is whenever you add, so this is the first +1 explosive projectile. Let's say that this is whenever you reach this point at +2 explosive projectiles. Then you'd probably be like at somewhere like around here for +3. So, and then here, I don't know, my circles aren't exactly the best for +4. So then let's say you reach this one at +5. So the idea is you wouldn't see a significant damage increase until you reach the second imaginary radius. And once you reach the second one, I can't even remember the additional damage, but at that point, it's really not worth it. You probably just want the 2. Anything else is just going to be larger explosions until eventually, yeah, you can get a small or a decent increase. Actually survived the shot. Well, looks like we have a regular telly. Yay. So, return, you're done. Luminous timer, you're done. We're back in business. What are we missing now? At the moment, we don't have any explosion immunity. What's keeping us from doing the 34 orbs at this very moment? Not a lot, really. We could just start gathering the orbs right now. We just got to get cessation, I guess, ahead of time. And that's it. In fact, I think it would be kind of fun to not like over prepare for the 34 orbs. Oh, the boss though, the 34 orb boss is going to be a huge pain in the ass. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I like the idea of kind of going for that 34 orb without being insanely OP. Just let me get my boss killer set up and then we can begin our adventure. I guess we might as well do stuff with the music note. Key listens, that is 1 song played for it. Where I was. No! Key listens. Listen to 2 songs so far, it needs to have 4. Alright, we have 1 song left to play for it. The key has taken. Oh, you piece of shit key! It's right here under the sand. God damn it. There we go. Didn't want to accidentally destroy it. It's very easy to destroy. We don't have electric immunity, so when we're doing this, we have to be careful. We stand a little ways back when we throw the key at the coral chest, because that water, there are electric enemies nearby. Those divides are pretty great, I'd say. Got some divides. 422. Oh yeah, baby.
Lurking in this sweaty cave here in Dunkville. Moist mobs, monsters, swapper mages. It's a dunk thrill. Might get a victory. Extend your win streak. Dunk tales. Every night he's out there screaming. Dunk tales. Tales of glory. Crouches when skill prevails. Danger weeds will find you. Avert your eyes, emotes will find you. Punch a goon and slide into some ducktails. Let's take a spin like get a win on ducktails. Tales of a legend, all jokes and good duck spells. Not gamble fails on fair on snails, no ducktails.
There you go.
If you're enjoying this video and would like to see more original Noida content, don't forget to like and subscribe to Fury Forge.
It's true. I think I'm gonna do the. Oh, there's a couple different methods for killing the 34-year-old boss The Hungry Ghost is probably the best. Cessation. Let's do the Cessation quest, and then I'll worry about all those other details. Well, Cessation maybe just be in hell anyways. But for the YouTube video, we'll do the Cessation quest. That was intentional. If I was a new viewer, I wouldn't be able to believe the amount of times you fly into that tower. That doesn't happen that often. That's like the second time in my Noita history. Don't check the bots. Please hold. We're having to do the Mimicium quest real fast. The Mimicium quest, it starts in the first. There's these 4 islands up in the sky. The far left one is island number 1, which is where we're at right now. It's top left island. So we're gonna put some pheromone on this mimic potion, and once you pheromone it, it allows you to pick it up. Then you go to the second island in the sky, which they're pretty much, you know, just stay perfectly even. You'll run into the next one. They're going to be these empty flasks laying around, such as this. And whenever you start to fill them in, each one you fill in will make this spot glow back here. And we need to fill in 10 of them. 2, 1, and there. We have 10. And once you have filled in 10 of them, you get the Sea of Mimicium spell. Then, what we're going to do from there... Then we get the Sea of Mimicium spell, and we head over to the next Sky Island. This is Sky Island number 3. And we're actually going to be stopping our... Well, I guess we won't be stopping the Mimicium quest that early. There's not really... I mean, depends on what you're doing, I guess, with the quest line. But some people, like for example, a lot of times I stop the quest line right there. I don't keep doing more because the Sea of Mimicium is huge. It allows us to make like infinite ambrosia, infinite of any liquid that we find. This can make more of it. So that's usually where I stop the quest. But today we're looking for the cessation spell, and I'll explain why and all that once we have it all set up. But Sea of Mimicium, we're going to cast it where there is a tiny bit of ominous liquid to fill up to this little wavy spot you see in the background. So then we cast Sea of Mimicium. It will mimic the poison, and then you get our prize. So we have our prize. We dive into the poison for a second. We'll grab... Oh, we don't have a spot to grab that. Hold up. Please hold. What are we going to move? Water. We're going to move that for... Actually, we'll hold on to the crit just in case. We don't need this many doubles. We're kind of just sitting on them at this point. Alright, so we dive down here. We grab the next part of the quest, which is Touch of Grass. Then with Touch of Grass, you return all the way back to the very first island that we went to. If you have Sea of Mimicium, yeah, if you have Sea of Mimicium, just skip right over all that stuff. You did not, sadly. Alright, and there is a drawing of grass in the background. Touch of Grass. Most touch of spells, whenever you cast them, will just kill you. But since we're on the surface, the Touch of Grass specifically is actually safe to cast and doesn't kill you. If you're scared, just put it after a trigger. It still works. But yeah, we cast it here, and we're going to get the Cessation spell, so we don't actually need this one anymore. And Cessation, perfect. Cessation, the reason we want this spell is because we can actually make our character disappear. So you cast it, and the character vanishes for a moment. We're going to use that to try to farm the end of everything. And I'm definitely going to have to do some research into it because, yeah, like you'll see, like it's going to take some testing. You can make your character disappear for a longer amount of time by using stuff like increased lifetime. So if you put divide by 4 on the increased lifetime and then you cast cessation, you'll notice that I'm gone for a much longer amount of time than the regular cessation spell. The idea is to try to line up that timing so that our character, right before we cast the end of everything, or at the same moment we cast the end of everything, we want our character to just disappear. The end of everything does all this insanely deadly stuff. Once all the insanely deadly stuff is done, we wanted to then make our character return. So we have to preemptively, like, do ahead of time, we have to calculate how many divide bys and all that shit will we need to be able to pull this off. And I have no idea of the math on that, so it's going to be a learning experience for me too. Okay, for just a moment, I want to do I want to heal myself. So I want to do a null shot on a deadly heal. So bloodlust on the deadly heal as well. And then we need to ricochet it into ourself. And so we need to hit ourself with it. It's going to be tricky because the ground is not very flat. The flat ground so I can easily ricochet that shit. There we go. Now I hit myself with it. There we go. Basically what you need to do is deadly heal. You're trying to make it smack yourself, and bloodlust does that. Bloodlust makes it where a deadly heal is eligible to now hurt the player. But if you put the null shot on there, it becomes eligible to interact with the player, but then the null shot removes the damage. So it'll interact with you, but it doesn't hurt you. It just heals you. Essentially what I did there. And then you have to make it now hit your player, like, because the projectile will just fly off. So you have to get in front of the projectile. So I just ricocheted off the wall into myself. Yeah, we're going for the wand of swiftness. Dropping down the seam so that we don't get hurt by that cursed rock. We actually don't want it to be that way. We want it to be where these two are swapped. Still fine, right? Yep, yep. And then this one, we can now bring in our lava. Yep, that there. Good, good. Alright. So we have that set up. We have the cessation. Pretty sure we need to do some testing with cessation. Does anybody... Let's look on the wiki real fast and see if there's a timer for the end of everything. Which, by the way, I also need to go grab that spell. The end of everything... Does it say the duration 7,020 frames? So then you would do 7,020 frames divided by 60? Is that the idea? And that's how we could time it out, I think. So almost exactly 2 minutes we need to disappear. Let's get out of this zone while we're toying around with this stuff. If we were to say, hey, cessation... Omega, and we were using increased lifetime earlier, but since null shot adds, it says dramatically increases a projectile's duration dramatically, but removes all damage. So we want to try that out real quick. This is doing the equivalent of 2 null shots because the regular null shot and then the Omega copies the null shot. So it thinks there's 2 of them. Then the Omega also copies the cessation. So in this case, what we would do, let's try to divide by 2. Let's not get too crazy. I'm gonna have a timer here. Read chat. What am I supposed to be reading? Did somebody already do the math? Did somebody already math it? This build. Let me see though. Oh shit. Wait, I just realized that's important to have it set up this way. Because if I use Omega, Omega is going to copy the end of everything. So we would end up dividing the end of everything so that it casts it like 1 billion times. So then we would end up with a lag. The game would freeze. I wasn't even thinking about that. Do it. Don't be a coward. What? No, yeah, there's no way that works. Of course we have divide by 4s and divide by 2s. Meanwhile, this is like if you have divide by 3, it's like that's the one I'm missing. I'm assuming add trigger, also add any of the ads probably would work there. Huh. Alright, thank you for linking this. This one could be perfect. So we need some add triggers and everything. Also, that's a scenario where we have like unlimited spells. We only have charges right now, but that shouldn't matter too much. We still got some designing to do on our cessation, but we'll explain why. If you're curious, like, well, I don't understand what's going on. Like, why are you doing that? It'll make sense, trust me. It's just right now it's kind of pointless to go into like real deep detail on it whenever you're gonna get a much better visual in a bit. Yes, down to hell we go. We've already been here. If you're curious why it's all jacked up, we've already been down here. We are heading to hell. Hell is where you can do some pretty... Actually, Probably get the end of everything too while we're over here so I don't forget. It is unstable? Okay. Oh, son of a bitch. Wait. The end of everything should be here. Oh, wait. Wait, but black holing that chest doesn't matter, doesn't it? It's no big deal. We can get one in hell anyways, but that's kind of annoying. Wait, does it exist in parallel worlds too? Not that we're gonna... It does delete it without dropping the spell? Son of a bitch. God damn it. Okay, it looks like it exists in parallel worlds too. So, oh well. It is down there. I'm actually blind. Oh, wait, really? Oh? The chest is down there? Oh, that's the chest. I thought it was this melted. I thought it was the molten metal melted down there. Oh, shit. Okay, wait, hold on. That's pretty funny. Alright. 8,000 hours. Come on! They look the same. It's like the same color as silver. We're missing divide by 10, an add trigger, a divide by 3. Divide by 4 again. Divide by 3! Yay, we found a divide by 3. Now we're just looking for the divide by 10. And then we will have the complete build, I think. There it is, divide by 10. Just gonna glance around to see if there's anything else here that we wanted. Okay, so we have the end of everything. That this setup, don't worry, again, I'll explain whenever we go to use this. This setup right here is going to be hopefully the key for us getting the greater chest orb. But again, we're going to have to use like a thing to tell our X and Y location and all that kind of stuff. But we'll get to that in a bit. The greater chest, the orbs in New Game Plus is now what's on my mind. Because we have Flum, I just need to get Unstable Telly, make Guiding Powder, and we're set. That would be crazy. Interesting. Interesting. Easy, baby. Just get them both. It's so simple. The only reason I would ever consider not getting explosion immunity second in that scenario is because our health is already really high. We'd have to take some crazy explosion damage for it to take us out. Saving Grace, on the other hand, at least can save us because we are going New Game Plus. Oh, but the repulsion's gonna shove it away too quick. Okay, let's see. Well, maybe Boomerang will save the day. Maybe. Ow! Jesus Christ. Jesus, that pumped. I didn't have piercing on it, so I wasn't exactly super scared, but because of the chainsaw, we did fire off 5 of them, each one of them hitting for like 80 damage, so it did hurt a little bit. Piercing would have really messed us up. Piercing would have straight ripped us apart. So generally what I like to do is I like to find kind of a like pocket to collect my Mimicium. So somewhere around here should be good. And you just cast the Mimicium spell. And then if you jump into the Mimicium with whatever flask you're holding. So for example, I had like 1 pixel of Flum. Well, now we have a full Flum flask. Same goes for like our Ambrosia. Actually, we have a little bit of blood in that Ambrosia. Let me go empty that out. I need to empty it out nowhere close to where we're at right now. We don't want to... Okay, so we empty it out over there. We go over here. We hold out our Ambrosia. And now it's pure Ambrosia. Hold out the water. Pure water. And so let's just go get the Unstable Telly. And then it's time to head to New Game Plus, I guess. And we'll go kill the boss. Alright, so we're going... The reason we're going to kill this boss right here is because this is the meat realm. We've talked about this many times. When you're in the meat realm, your health only goes down. If you get hurt, it records your HP, and anytime you're in that zone, it forces your HP down to the lowest health it's ever seen you at anytime you've been in the meat realm. You cannot heal while you're in it. You can leave the zone and heal, but the moment you set your foot back in the zone, you're instantly going to get your health pushed down. If you can't remember if you have gotten rid of the curse or not, if you look at the crotch of my character, you should see, it sounds a little weird, but you should see this like red pulsing sign. That's a sign that the curse is active, meaning it's trying to push my health down to the lowest it's ever seen. With that said, I haven't been in the meat realm, so it hasn't seen me with any missing health. That's why it's not screwing me over right now. But it will get bad. So to get rid of the curse, you have to kill the meat realm boss, specifically the one that's in this section of the meat realm, not Tiny, who's in another area in the meat realm. So you go to the bottom corner, and then oh, come on. So then I head into here. My health bar is dropping, which is a bit concerning. Oh, there he is. Come on. Oh, come on. Damn repulsion. There we go. We got him. The curse has been lifted, so now you are eligible to heal. If you look at our character no longer has the pulsing red on him anymore, meaning the curse is actually gone. And then he drops this like wand here that's really goofy and crazy. Speedrunners use it for some stuff, but outside of that, it's mainly just a meme thing. The reason we get rid of that curse is because in New Game Plus, that curse can end your run when you're going through the New Game Pluses, because the meat realm is kind of thrown around randomly throughout New Game Plus. So you'll stumble into that zone and your health bar will just get shoved down. It's a nightmare. Because like the worlds, the zones get all mixed together. If we pull up the map, you can see that like this is the regular Noita world, everything is really cleanly separated, right? Like it's like, oh, here is this zone, here is this zone. But when you head to New Game Plus, you'll see that everything starts to get mixed together, and each New Game Plus you're in kind of stirs it more and more, and the biomes start to get like intertwined. So what happens is you'll be late. Let's say a polymage appears, and you're like, oh crap, a polymage. You go to jump out of the way, you may accidentally jump into the meat realm, not realizing it at the same moment like a heart mage hits you. So then your health gets halved, and now you have that curse where it thinks that your health needs to always be at the maximum half, and it gets deadlier and deadlier. So you kill the meat realm boss. Now if something happens, I accidentally set foot in here, it doesn't matter if I get injured or whatever, it's no longer gonna like look at that curse and consider it. So you see how there's portals that take you to each holy mountain. This is every Noita player knows this, but what you may not realize is that what powers those portals is the teleportadium that sits beneath it. So what you can do is if I scoop up this teleportadium, that portal will vanish. Actually see it vanish right there. So then we got rid of it, and then just in the same way that it vanished, if you were to pour it back into this, okay, I kind of did a terrible job there. And you can fill it back up, and the portal can reappear. Is there any crazy cool stuff with that? Not really. There is some kind of like goofy tech where during speedrunning you can actually kind of get like a temporary immortality with it, but it's a whole discussion for another time. So there it is, 1 pixel, essentially 1%, which could be like 1 pixel of unstable teleportadium. Once we have a pixel of it, thanks to Sea of Mimicium, we can make a infinite supply of it. Alright, so the Mimicium is making a ton of unstable telly. Alright, so the reason I wanted to have Flum and unstable telly is because whenever I find a spot to use this, I forget the order that I usually do this in. I believe it's unstable telly first and then Flum into it. No, it's the other way. Hold on, maybe this will be a better spot so I can see better. So Flum first, and then unstable telly into that Flum. You see that? What you see how it like pointed? That's called guiding powder. It's pointing you to the closest orb. See it pointed again? It sometimes it can, see the guiding powder can be a little bit weird. Sometimes it points really quickly. Sometimes it takes forever. You can mix this inside of a flask, but it's not a liquid. So I wanted to make sure I have both the liquid form so I can keep making more and more of it. I could just commit one of my flasks to like fill with guiding powder, which would be just much easier. Just pour a little bit out and it just points you in the direction. But then if something happens and I'm not very like conservative with it, I could run out because I don't have the Mimikium will not copy guiding powder directly. So I copy the base ingredients and just keep making it on the fly. Also, my repulsion field can affect the guiding powder in that you see how it kind of shoves it away. So make sure you're not being misled. Make sure you're not like standing next to it. You're like, oh, it's down there. It's like, no, it's trying to point up and to the left, but because of my repulsion field, it's like shoving the direction downwards. And if you're curious what this one is pointing at, it actually points you to the nearest spot that an orb spawns, not that an orb is currently sitting at. So it's pointing towards this orb here, but I've already grabbed it in the past. This method for finding orbs is not, you shouldn't really need to use it in the main world. You know where the orbs are. They're always in the same spots, unless you're a new player, which that can be helpful for helping out a new guy. But in New Game Plus, the orbs start to shift around, and majority of the orbs are not in a spot you can really predict. You know a general area. You're like, oh, it's in somewhere in this vicinity, but you don't know where it's at. In New Game Plus, you don't want to roam around randomly because there can be poly mages in random spots you don't anticipate. While the regular world, I'm aware, like, oh, this area has a poly mages, I go around it. Oh, this area has this other deadly thing, I go around it. In New Game Plus, you're like, hey, I think the orb's over here, and boom, some scenario you didn't anticipate gets you killed. In fact, if you've seen that one clip of me, it's at the end of the DunkTales, you know, the DuckTales remix. At the end of the song, there's this moment that Shankmo edited in where I accidentally get chaotic polyed into a fish and then it leads to me dying. And some people may say, well, that was really silly. But the reason I was moving so fast that allowed me to get chaotic poly is I'm used to the regular world layout, and I thought I was moving into a safe zone. I didn't think that I wasn't paying attention to the fact that I was in New Game Plus. So when I was zooming, I zoomed into an area that normally wouldn't be there, but in New Game Plus it is. It happened to have a polyflasks or a chaotic polyflask, and it led to me dying. So that's where the world being more chaotic is just scary. So that's why you like to have guiding powder and all that shit. So let's go kill the boss, and then let's go collect our orbs. Yeah. Oh, I didn't get the Hungry Ghost. I almost forgot one of the main things for today. Really quickly, I need to grab the Hungry Ghost. That way we can use the Hungry Ghost to kill the 34 orb boss. How to use Hungry Ghost? Basically, we're gonna feed them up, and the Hungry Ghost is actually one of the most OP perks if you know how to abuse them. You can keep feeding the Hungry Ghost over and over and over, and he can do infinite damage essentially. You've probably seen some crazy damage numbers in Noita. The Hungry Ghost can outscale like all of them. The Hungry Ghost has infinite scaling. Any boss in the game can be killed with a single Spark Bolt, just one Spark Bolt, the very basic starting spell, Spark Bolt. On the starter wand, you can kill a 34 orb boss with it if you have Hungry Ghost. Because what you're doing is you're using another spell called Magic Guard, or there's probably several different spells you could use, but Magic Guard's definitely the best for it, or the easiest to work with. And you're feeding the Hungry Ghost this Magic Guard over and over and over. And each time you feed it to him, he gets stronger and stronger until eventually he just... when you fire it, will just insta-kill whatever. Does Hungry give pure projectile damage, or can you kill projectile immune bosses with it also? No, like it's just a projectile damage amplification, if I remember correctly. So like it's adding projectile damage. So that damage type, if an enemy is 100% resistant to it, I guess you still would do 0 to him. I guess I never really fired it at anything that's 100% resistant. I guess like that one. Oh, that would be kind of fun to fire it at those giant Lukey spiders that are actually get healed. They get healed by projectile damage. I wonder if there's a chance that the damage is so large that it may just bug it out and still kill them. You never know. I didn't know this game could be played in this way. Yeah, this is what you would consider more of like a god run. It's whenever you get to the super late game. It's like the prize that you get for playing well in Noita is that you get to do like this. The game turns almost into like a sandbox where you just do whatever the hell you want. You can just obliterate everything. And there is Hungry Ghost, the buddy we were looking for this whole damn time. Repelling Cape. Maybe not. I may rely on Ambrosia. I don't want to deal with that Repelling Cape stuff. Alrighty. Well, it's New Game Plus time. So we will... take the portal. Portal takes us back to the main world. So this is where we started out. This was where our journey began. Whoop. Does projectile weakening curse make projectile immune bosses susceptible to it? To the wiki? So there was something we were talking about not too long ago, which somebody brought up something very similar. Because basically there are some bosses that have these special like immunities or resistances that does work on, but it's not 100%. So for example, somebody was suggesting that you let the projectile weakening curse or there's a mage that makes it where he hits them and it ignores all your resistances or your immunities. So just because something is maybe if they're projectile resistant, they'll stay resistant. But if they're projectile immune, then you can let them get hit by a weakening mage, and now it can hurt them. So I guess it depends on what is keeping them from being damaged. Most of them, though, most of the enemies are, if they're not taking projectile damage, they are resistant, not immune. But there are exceptions to that. But so don't worry. This version of the boss, this is the weak one. We're going to be fighting a much beefier one. So this boss with 5 orbs, he has 5,000 health. The boss, hopefully, as long as we don't die, the boss we're going to be fighting later will have billions.
I fear the moist
trillions. A number so large I don't even know how to pronounce it. Amount of health. There we go. All right. So the reason we needed to kill him is we didn't have to kill him, I guess, but I wanted the Sampo, which because I have 5 orbs, is called the Red Lion. We are heading to the surface. And we are heading to New Game Plus. That's where we're going to fight the 34 orb boss after we gather all the orbs. See, it says press E to enter New Game Plus. Let me make sure I have everything in place. We have the Flum. We have the Unstable Telly for making guiding powder. Grab all the orbs, gather 33. We have the setup so that we can hopefully get a greater chest orb very easily. Somebody else did the calculations for us. It's even posted on the Noita wiki. I didn't even know it was already posted on there, but I guess I'm not surprised because, like I said, the wiki is filled with really useful information. Yeah, I think we are set, and we have the Hungry Ghost, and then we have Summon Takasova so that we can get the Magic Guard to kill the 34 orb boss. So press E. Let's enter New Game Plus. If your game ever, like if you've been playing a long run and you're like, for the first like 4 or 5 hours, I was getting no lag, but now the game's starting to get a little laggy and stuff. Even when you close and reopen the game, maybe it's still lagging. Well, when you go to a New Game Plus, it actually wipes all the information about all the digging you have done, all that kind of stuff, which is likely what is slowing your game down. The world is wiped clean. So this can actually stabilize your game quite a bit if you're ever in like a god run and you're one of the things that maybe is ruining some of the fun for you is the fact that it's starting to get laggier and laggier. Yeah, because there are some runs that I've done in the past that this was a big moment whenever I went to New Game Plus because the game had gotten so laggy. Specifically, the one I think of is the 100% run that I did where I 100% of the game in a single stream. Chat, no, it was not 98%. It was 100%. They added spells later. That's a story for another time. But the game was laggy as hell at some points, and so when I would have to go to a new Game Plus, and then the game would stabilize. The Mountain Orb is still there. It's the same orb as before. But before I go on this long journey, because we're going to be doing lots of gathering the orbs, it is a little bit dangerous. But the most dangerous thing that we're going to be doing right now is casting the end of everything. This thing right here it's very scary. So I want to get that part out of the way. Now I don't want to wait around, so let's prepare that wand. Actually, hold up. Let's check where it's at. Let's go. Okay, so we have the seed right here. All we have to do is there is a website called the Noita Orb Atlas. This is where Noita starts to get a little bit janky. Like I said, nobody has ever found a consistent way to get this orb without using any like tools or websites and stuff like that. And I know that sucks. I like to do everything in game if I could, but until that's discovered, it's been years, so it's probably not going to be discovered. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being negative. Maybe I'm being pessimistic. Maybe there's a genius out there that will find a way. But what we do is you type in the seed that you're currently on. So is Noita Orb a website? Yes, I'll link it in the chat in case you're wanting to see this. Here is the link, and I'll link it if it gets posted to YouTube. I'll post this in the description. But Kalioresis is the guy that made this formula or whatever. And what you do is you type in the seed that you're on. There's another important detail. The new game plus that you're in needs to be entered here. It defaults to 1 because it assumes most people would be looking for it in New Game Plus 1, which is where I'm at right now. New Game Plus 0 is the regular world. So we just went to New Game Plus. That's the seed we're on. And then you check Great Chest Search. That means like, hey, I want to find something in an orb in a great chest. So you can seek true knowledge. And there it goes. It tells us a location. It says, actually, I don't know if it's actually in the tree or not. We want something that is in a spot that we can stand on. That'll make sense in a moment. But let's try this out. So it tells us the exact coordinates. It tells us that the orb is at this location right here. So now you're saying, okay, well then how do you know what location you're currently standing at? So the very first time I ever did a 34 orb run, I didn't want to have any mods. I wanted to do it vanilla, but obviously we had to use the website to know the location. The only way to know the X and Y location of where the player is standing without using mods is to, you have to close your game down. I guess I could show you the whole process. You probably don't want to see it. You close the whole game down, and there is a file called the player XML file that tells your current X and Y location in Noita's like directory shit, you know, like in its files. It's a bit of a grind because what happens is you're going to reposition your character, close Noita again, check the XML file, and you will do this 1,000 times until you get into the perfect X and Y location.
There is another way to do that without using mods loudly crying.
Okay, that doesn't. Okay, Aqua is saying, yeah, there's another way. He created an executable that you can run that helps you track your location. I mean, listen. If you're doing anything that is running like a tool or whatever, I mean, that counts pretty much as modding or like something a little bit janky, right? So in our case today, what we're going to do is there's a VOD of Dunk doing this, which wasn't fun at all. So Rav is right. I did do this. It actually took me many hours because I had to do it. I've actually done it a total, I think, of 3 times. I think we did it in one run for 3 different orbs. Anyways, I wanted to just do it so I could say I've done it without mods, even though we still had to use like some jank methods. But from there, we've pretty much agreed that I don't want to torture the chat. I don't want to torture myself anymore. And so what we do is we turn on a mod that tells us our X and Y location. And the mod that we use, I believe, is just this one right here. So then we just say restart with the enabled mods active. And this will tell us our X and Y location. Again, you don't have to use this. You could use the player XML, but you may hate your life while you're doing it. Oh yeah, I forgot. We also had the only wands. That is another tool that we could use, but I guess I did need to show this one. See, it tells us our X and Y location. You can click it and you can tell what things you want it to show. This allows us to know this, but we could go without a wand being without this mod being on because I'm a streamer and I run this thing called you can see it on right here called Streamer Wands. This is because people are live in the stream, and at any time, if you could stop by my stream just about on any day, on any run, and if you ever want to know what I'm running, you just type !wand in the chat, and the moment that you type it, what happens is Nightbot will give you a link. When you click that link, it shows you exactly my inventory, all my perks, it tells you my stats, all that stuff, and wait, let's see, where is the coordinates? Show map, maybe it's here. Yes, it even shows you where you're currently standing. So this is another way that you could line up your X and Y. Let's see how accurate it is. It says right now I'm at 763.41 minus 787. Yeah, it looks like it is accurate. Let's see if I move a little bit. Then, yeah, it looks like it is. It's pretty darn accurate. So you could use either way. And outside of this, like I said, the only person that I've ever known to get a greater chest orb was Fury Forge. I guess I didn't finish that story earlier. I'm not sure if I did or not. But and he was the person that was really dead set on finding a way to do pretty much get the greater chest orb legitimately, you know, through some method. But he got it through pure RNG, and the chances are like almost like winning the lottery. I don't know if maybe one day people find a way to reduce those chances more and more so that we could at least say, hey, maybe it's luck, but maybe it wouldn't be like, you know, winning a lottery level luck. Maybe if you just were like dead set that you're going to grind for hours, that you would eventually get it. But currently right now it's like a 1 in, I don't know, a million or some crap. I don't know the exact odds. I think actually last time somebody claimed that they calculated the odds and they said it was like 1 in 50,000. But I don't know how true that is. I haven't crunched the numbers. But even then, 1 in 50,000, it was a lot better than what we originally thought, which was like a 1 in so many million. But so what we did is we now know our coordinates. So the exact coordinates, I'm going to show on the screen one more time. So if you're curious, like how the hell negative, in fact, I'm going to write this in my chat over here so that I can not have to keep pulling this up. We wanted negative 1,030 and negative 1,136. So we're going to go over here. It looks like it was somewhere on this tree. So negative 1,030, which would be, oh shit, yeah. So it's gonna be in the air. It's gonna be in the air. We don't want one that's in the air because we are trying to get the exact X and Y location ahead of time and stand on the point. So it's no big deal. What you do is you just on here. We know that if we start from the 0, 0 location, the closest point is this one. So instead, let's say, okay, we need to go in a different location. So wait, it's so the Y needs to go, okay, to the positive number. So let's say that we are going to look in some dangerous areas. Let's look in 300. Seek true knowledge. Oh, that's not far enough. That just moved it down slightly. Let's go to 3,000. How far down are we talking? All right, that's a little bit sketchy, but we want to find it in some solid terrain if we can. Okay. That one could also suck depending on what's there, but let's go find out. Negative 459, 6,130. So we're doing the greater chest orb first since it is the most scary part of our challenge today. So I'm like, let's do the dangerous stuff first. 6,130, and then the other number was negative 459. Yeah, so it's like right around here. Just gotta get rid of the enemies, and then we'll make our decision on how we're gonna do this. So 459. So that would count. It does round up. And then 6,130, which means we'd have to go down very slightly. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to swap over to luminous drill digging. Negative 459. Oh, it's perfect. 6,130. So I need to drop down from here. Oh, I know what we could do. We could find it on here and then mark it, and then that'll help us line it up better. So it'd be 2 pixels lower than that. That's too low right there. 31. Oh man, see, that would be frustrating. Yeah, that would work. And so we just need to go down 6 pixels, or yeah, 6 pixels down from here, and we would be set. Damn. Does it help that I'm like having to do this on top of like some ice and shit? I don't know if we actually moved anything there. Oh shit! We're off 2 pixels! Negative 459, which is good. We need it to be 6,130. Your wand is shaking. I don't know why it is. Oh, the chainsaw. Thank you for... I wonder if that's good. Let's do that just in case though.
Muting Dunkbot is like shooting orphans in the back of the head. Why are you doing this to us, Mad?
What was that fucking comparison? My character's like breathing, and that's kind of throwing it off too. I'm having to like stare at it so intensely. My eyes. I think it's still the same. Come on, man. 2 pixels. Oh shit, I just took a chunk out of that shit. Man, I can't get to the right X now. Negative 459. Oh, that around. Oh my god, we're off by 1 pixel. 1 pixel, please. Ugh. It's hard to say because there's like material on top of this, and like, what's happening here? I can't tell. It's like, because it's so darkened and stuff, I need negative 459, which is, I can get to it. It takes a little bit sometimes to, yeah, that'll work. And I need 1 more pixel
Get
here.
the broom wand? Or is that not available in Ink Plus?
It's not available. The broom actually would be helpful here. I was darkening it because I was trying to get rid of the snow earlier, but I think it led to me just being more confused. If I move to another spot, I'll make sure to not blast it like I did.
You cannot stop us, bald man. Oogu, oogu, ah ya ya.
Wait, is that it? Negative 459.26 and 6,130. Woo! All right. So this is the part that I've never actually got to do before because it is, you know, it was added like in the last, well, it's been a little over a year now, but I haven't actually I haven't revisited a lot of 34 orb stuff. Apparently, if we build this wand just right, we should be able to just cast it in this exact spot, and it will just give it to us at the end of it. So let me get it set up and I'll explain everything. The add manas, I believe, can stay. The quad can stay. Then we got to go end of everything, divide by 10, add trigger, divide by 3, add trigger, null shot, cessation. I think that's everything. Basically, the end of everything, when you cast it, there's a ton of, oh true, I should build a Tele1 in case I need to run. Thank you for saying that. Smart thinking. Mark thinking, Thumbsy is thinking ahead. He's like, it's Noita. You always got to have an escape plan. The end of everything, whenever you cast it, it's like all this really bad shit happens. Like polymorphine shots, lava, nukes, all this crazy shit happens. But at the very end of it, it gives you a prize. And that prize is a greater chest. Now, the greater chest, what it does is it tries to spawn like on your character or around your character. So that's what this whole thing has been about. Getting our player in the exact position so that when it forces the greater chest to spawn in exactly where we want it to be, and if it spawns it on that exact location, we know what's going to be inside of it. So we've preemptively got our character into the correct location. We're going to cast the end of everything, but it has a quad on it, so it simultaneously will cast cessation, which makes our character disappear. So we're casting this really deadly thing and then making our character vanish at the same time. But if I didn't have all these other things in between it, our character would vanish and then reappear almost immediately while all the bad stuff is happening. Some gigabrain out there in the community, it probably says on that wiki, I should pull that up in a bit, who originally built this, they did the math, and null shot makes something last longer. Meaning like when I disappear, with a null shot there, I'll disappear a little longer. And then the divide bys make it so that it thinks there's even more null shots. So I'll be gone even longer. And then another divide by to make it. So it makes it so they did the math where this spell lasts like 2 minutes. And all of this here will make me disappear for about 2 minutes is the idea. I don't know if it'll work. I haven't cast this exact wand before. I'm a little scared. Let's see. So I'm in the exact location I'm supposed to be. And let's cast it. All right, so the end of everything is happening. This is all the bad stuff. And it should be timed out in such a way that whenever it ends, we'll see a chest spawn, and in that same moment, it'll be like, oh, the player's back. And we should get our greater chest. I really hope this does work. A lot of people in the chat claimed that they had a really good experience with it, said that they tried it out and it was good for them. But if it does work, then it means like, hey, you know, adds another variable of stuff we can add to our future events. Because this part of the challenge, anything with the end of everything, I never really like to do too much because it's kind of a huge pain in the ass. But getting this setup wasn't that hard. Pretty sweet and simple setup. It is like a cutscene right now. All the bad stuff's happening. It's getting close. We'll know that it's about to be the moment I respawn whenever the nukes start firing off. Yep, there's the nukes. Chest spawned in. Oh shit! And there it is! And it had the orb in it. That worked perfectly. That was awesome. For some of the people in our community, they're probably hype about that. You're like, oh, that's pretty neat because they've been here for the suffering days. This casting the end of everything, I've literally sat in the same spot trying to cast for hours, trying to get that damn thing. Wait, where's the orb? I heard it. Oh, it's in the wall. The fuck? All right, I almost cast this again. Oh shit.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Yeah.
Getting that orb used to be so hard.
Yeah. It's like that, wow. So much easier now. See our orb. Yay. That's a greater chest orb. If you ever manage to open a greater chest in a random run, first off, greater chests are very rare in general. They can spawn in a run. There are seeds out there that exist where that prize that I just got for surviving that really deadly thing, well, luckily I didn't have to work that hard to survive it because, I mean, I just had to get the spells beforehand, but from there it was safe. But that chest can actually naturally spawn in on seeds. And that's one of the most fun things in Noita because there are people out there that have brand new players, maybe the first day playing the game. They've experienced things in Noita that I haven't even experienced after over 8,000 hours. In fact, it was like a couple years ago, maybe 2 years ago, a year ago, one of our community members pointed out, or they talked about a seed that they had experienced. And so we looked it up, and what it was a greater chest spawned in the first zone, and it was jam-packed with flasks that could spawn bosses. It's called monstrous powder. It's a very rare material. I've only come across it like once or twice regularly in my Noita runs because I specifically was seeking it out using the end of everything. But somebody just randomly loaded up a game of Noita and tried to play, and in their first zone got attacked by 7 bridge bosses within like 2 minutes of starting their run, and that was their experience, right? And they're probably like, what the fuck? Yeah, he died immediately. And there's another seed. I remember a person said, is this seed even winnable? And I said, every seed is winnable. Let me show you the way. And what it was is in the second zone, there was a greater chest right next to like something that was on fire. So pretty much it guaranteed that the chest was going to break open. And whenever it broke open, it almost immediately broke its flask, which was, what's the expanding liquid called? I forget what the expanding liquid is called. Creepy liquid, yes. No, not void liquid is an expanding liquid. You guys are technically right. But no, creepy liquid. Creepy liquid's a purple liquid that just starts filling your entire world. And what it was when you would enter the second zone, it would just break. It would just happen to like, there was like, it was unavoidable to keep it intact. And so your whole second zone would just start filling with this liquid. And I remember I died too when I tried to check it out. I was like, oh shit, like, you know, this seed is fucked up. But yeah, that's what makes Noita fun. Greater chests do add in this. But just so you know, so you don't go thinking Noita is just an RNG fest to the max. We're talking about like lightning striking levels of rare. I have played over 8,000 hours, and I have never experienced that in the early game. I've never experienced bosses in my first zone or creepy liquid completely drowning my second zone. I've never experienced that, so it'd be very rare, but it could happen. Those moments are actually, when people say Noited, that's what they truly mean. That is actually Noited. Not those other moments where somebody builds a lightning wand and then, you know, for some reason jumps in a pool of water and gets electrocuted and they're like, Noited. You're like, no, you jumped in a bath with a toaster. That's not an accidental. That's clearly, you fucked up. So anyways, okay, let's grab the orb. Yeah, there we go. So we have our greater chest orb. Now what we need to do is we need to gather 11 orbs in the main world, the east, and the west. We've already gathered one from the main world. So whenever we leave the main world, I want to be at 12 orbs. Let's begin. Actually, I do have a video talking about that one somewhere on the YouTubes, in case anybody wants to review. Let me see. Okay, so this is where you start to struggle because I don't know where the orb is right now. I'm kind of lost. So what we're wanting to do is we need to find a spot that is not on fire. Kind of build a small pit. Throw a bit of flum down there. And throw a little bit of telly and stand back. And there it goes. Points down and to the left. So it's saying if we go down to the left, and there we go. There's an orb. So I want to get far enough away from that last spot that I knew where the orb is, and I want to go to a new spot where hopefully it'll lead us to a different orb. Down and to the right. You can see it right there. Down. So somewhere around that direction. I forgot that existed. That's not on my channel. These are lies. Okay, so we're using those. We're using that mix to find all the orbs that we need. I'm just putting myself in the general vicinity where I think there could be an orb, and then from there I'm mixing stuff. This is kind of a scary moment. This area is filled with polymorphine. Oh my god. Fuck that. Dude, let me out of here. Jesus, I gotta go more, I gotta go lower next time. So I remember that. No, not more fucking polymorphine. Fuck off. I'd rather be in this zone, at least it's less likely to have polymorphine. Okay. So I throw down a little flum, throw down a little telly, stand back. Up and to the right. So this direction. And yes, it can be through the cursed rock, but it won't be all the way through it. So I went too far. Oh, there it is. So yes, this one in New Game Plus spawns on the edge of cursed rock. It's pretty crazy. That's... Oh! Oh my god. I was just like, yeah, just hang against the wall. You don't even have a repelling cape, do you? Nope, it's called skill. It's a little thing called skill, Test 60. Look it up, my friend. Look it up. That hard mage, he was ready to murder my ass. Damn, that was pretty lucky. I won't deny that. That was scary as hell.
That was a warm-up throw.
Oh!
You'll get it next time.
Holy, what the? Fuck off. Okay. God damn it, that guy's pretty deadly. Where is the bloodlust? For the love of God! Oh, this guy increases the damage times 10.
Wasn't even us.
Woo! You take 10 times. Is that why I took so much damage earlier? Did I have that effect on me? Maybe. There it is. So then I gotta put the boomerang on this, and then I fire it, I think. Hit me, please. There we go. Guy doesn't take any explosion damage. That's why he was a damn tank. Whew. Alright, up and to the left. Of course, a little bit of danger. Alright, 7. That means we are missing 5 more orbs. We throw down a little flum. Throw down a little telly. Up into up. I just had directly up. It looks like up and maybe slightly to the right. Yep. Perfect. Flum. A little bit of telly. Up and to the left. Meaning it's right over. Oh, there it was. Just practicing grabbing the orb without the heart, but you know, we need the heart right now. Cursed orbs in a bit, we're going to be skipping that heart. And then we throw a little flum in there. A little telly. Up and to the right. Did I already overshoot it? I think I may have overshot it immediately. Hold up. Probably did. Down to the, yeah, I immediately overshot it. I thought I saw it. I was like, did I just? Yeah. Be very careful because you may accidentally spawn in the bridge boss on this one. That orb right there is the one that's normally located by the bridge boss. So his spawn is relocated with it. It's in the water, so you can actually spawn them in, and yeah, it can kind of get you in a lot of trouble. A little bit of flum. A little bit of telly. I think by now you should be seeing the value of the flum telly making the guiding powder, because as you can see, like these zones that they can spawn in are like hard. Like you're not like exactly able to line up things that well. Vex is kind of crazy actually. Vex is one of the community members that's been in probably the most new game pluses out of just about anybody. I don't know if there's many players that have been in as many new game pluses as him, and I swear he's got this like he can smell me. He's like a drug sniffing dog, except for he sniffs out the orbs. Oh shit! Hold up, let me try to find a safe spot for a moment. No, really, he does sniff out the orbs. I'm telling you, you watch Vex, he's like, I can sense it. There's an orb this way. He moves over there, and then there's the orb just chilling. Like, okay, what the fuck? Bit of flum. Bit of telly. Oh shit, directly down. Alright. I'll take it. Alright, so there's 12 in the... So our main 11 orbs plus the greater chest orb. All we gotta do is get the 11 from the east and the west, which we now have a general idea of how they are laid out, since it will be in the exact position, just in a parallel world. Let's hopefully do this correct. Okay, so there's the cursed hearts. I really don't want to grab them. I'll probably end up grabbing a couple of them by accident. Whenever you get hit with it, pretty much you're like cursed or you're poisoned or whatever you want to look at it, and you're gonna take damage for a bit. That's why I wanted to make sure I had ambrosia while I was here. Grab this orb before I forget. Anytime I accidentally grab the heart, I'll put ambrosia on and I'll just kind of idle around and wait for it to time out. How did I already lose this? I went to this one just a little while ago. Down and to the left. There it is. Alright. Oh shit, see I told you I was going to mess it up. So then I put ambrosia on, and I can kind of chill around for a moment. Right here. Okay, there we go. And you probably want to grab whatever you're planning to do in your run. You like to do it in the main world. Don't plan to do more like perk farming or spell hunting in New Game Plus, because the zone is much deadlier. It's like an unnecessary risk. You buff up in the main world, then you use the New Game Pluses to do whatever your goal was, whatever your quest was that you set out to do. Alright, Flum, it's going to tell me to go up and to the right, I think. There it is. And when we finish this world, we should be at... let me think. So we were at 12. So 23, and then... Yeah, then that leaves the last one. So this one should be at 23 when we leave this world. Then it leaves 11 orbs in the remaining west world. Actually, wait. We are in the west right now, aren't we? Did I go west? Did I go west or east? I don't even remember, honestly. Yes, west. Okay. For a second, I was like, wait, that doesn't sound right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Go polymages, please. Funny that I ended up like right around an orb while in panic mode, while running around blindly. Ooh, this ghost is no joke. You take times 10 damage if he's nearby when you get hit, so get him the fuck out of there. I'd imagine if... Oh, wait, if you grabbed the... Cursed Heart and he was nearby, oh my god, would fucking beat the hell out of you. There was a glitch when they first added that ghost in where they had accidentally made him apply his debuff twice. So it's you take 10 times damage, but it did 10 times, like twice. So 10 times 10 did 100 times damage when he was nearby. So if you didn't have fire immunity and like just a speck of fire ignited you, you would take 100, you would take, so fire damage is percent damage, so it scales with your HP, and since that dude was doing 100 times damage, it went over 100% of your health bar. So basically if you was nearby and even a speck of fire hit you, you just insta-died. It was pretty hilarious. Luckily I didn't run into it, so I guess I was able to be one of the ones that would laugh about it, but there were definitely clips that went around. I think there was one of like Fury. I remember just several of them where people were walking along and then just like a little bit of fire hit them and they just insta'd from full health. Like 400 HP just fell over. Like, yep. Pretty hilarious. Yeah. It was funny if you're not the one suffering, let's put it that way. Okay. Took a little bit of damage on that. Oh shit, I hear it again. Professional gamer. Plum. Telly. Up and to the right. What? Alright. Don't grab the ore. Don't grab the heart. Oh. No, get away from me. This is why you like to have a lot of immunities before you come to this zone, because there's electricity, there's freezing stuff, there's all kinds of danger. Plum. Up and to the right. I think I did the exact same thing. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, shit. Don't spawn in that bridge boss, please. Alright, good. Plum. Telly. Oh, yeah. Down to the left. No polymorphine, please. There it is. Thank you. And just follow that path that I came from, right back up out of here. And then we have to go down and to the right, I think. Oh no, it's still good. is right next to it. There you go. 23. So 11 orbs remain, just the east. So we want to take the portal, so that'll take us back to the main world. I've spawned him in a lot of times on accident. I usually don't know that. I'm just like, oh shit, he's here. Start running for my life. Mod restart. I think we should be good. I'll do it right before we fight the boss. I'll do a restart just in case. I think so far so good. Because you got to remember, when we went to New Game Plus, it does kind of stabilize things quite a bit. Resuck. We did not restart. I'm trying to remember where that orb has been. Oh, yep. Got it right that time. Then we just keep heading down and to the left, I think is how we've done it. Belly. Down and to the right. There we go. Aw, damn, I'm gonna mess this one up. Come on. Woo! Kind of surprised actually after all that. I thought I was gonna miss it for sure. At least, I mean, get the cursed heart. Cursed rock. I think we just head directly up from this, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, directly up. Whoop. That's... up and to the right. Remember, my repulsion kind of can push the little thing, so that's why sometimes it looks like it's like, wait, it's changing its angle. That's because I get too close to it. Oh my god. I gotta back out for a second as we wait out the weekend, because it makes me lose all my immunities temporarily, so I don't want to run around with that. Is that speed up black hole into a delayed spellcast teleport? No. These are two different. I have two different. If you need any help looking at the wand build, you can always type !wand, and it gives you a link that pulls up my entire inventory in your browser. But yeah, all the speed for it is coming from the speed up that is right there, and the copy random sometimes not sometimes is always copying it, so it's maxed out speed essentially. Can't get any faster than that. Oh shit! Up and to the right? Oh. Looks like it's more right than I was anticipating. There we go. Alright. Plum, a little bit of telly. Up and to the right. Alright, Synthotron was saying you wanted to see the bridge boss actually spawn in. Let's see if I can... I know I do it accidentally all the time. Let's see if I can do it intentionally. How the hell? Which time? Alright, there he goes. See? Just like you would do the normal bridge boss, you grab it, move over to the left. And then there he was. Unless you delete your save file, in which case, not forever, because you deleted your save file. And I feel like I'm kind of not where I'm supposed to be, but I think we're grabbing the orbs in a slightly different order. Is that dude flying? I swear he was. Yeah, we are grabbing him in a slightly different order. bit of flum, a little bit of telly. Alright, down to the left, which is where I thought. There we go. Take that away. There we go, 34 orbs. Now, remember, anytime you find an orb, it pretty much, the idea is like, in Noita, if you find an orb, you can find that exact orb in the east and the west. So that one greater chest orb that we got, you could actually grab an east and a west version of the greater chest orb, which is how you can get all the way up to 36. Really not planning to do that today. It wouldn't be too much benefit to it. You don't get anything extra. It's still just the amulet. Oh shit, I did not. Well, it's a good timing to accidentally break that flask, I guess. After I don't need it anymore. Jump into the portal. We did it, Reddit! We did it! Alright, so I jumped to the portal. This took us back to the main world. We have 34 orbs. The boss is about to be thick. To put it in perspective, just how thick this boss can get. How girthy can he be? The boss we fought earlier today to get us to go to New Game Plus, we fought him and it was a 5 orb boss, so he had 5,057 HP. We are in New Game Plus 1, so it gives 1 hidden orb to the boss's health bar, and then we have 34 orbs. So you go to 34 and then you add the extra hidden orb. So all the way down to 34 right here, and then the extra hidden orb because we're in New Game Plus 1. The boss will have 2.1 trillion HP, is that right? Yeah, 2.1 trillion HP, the boss that we're about to fight. Because it's the 34 orb in New Game Plus 1. So, yeah, we have to do a bit more damage. Now, let's prep this damage. We're going to, just for stability, we're going to hit restart. What it does is it just closes our game for a moment, reopens it, because we've been doing lots of crap. I'm afraid of the game being unstable. Thicker than my wife's boyfriend? Maximus, what? What the? What the fuck? First things first, we need a way to feed our hungry ghost. He's hungry. We need to give him food. So we don't need that. What we do need is summon Taikosova. So we summon that in, kill it. We're looking for a magic guard. Magic guard isn't supposed to be that rare. Or oh wait, there it is. Magic guard. That's why I like to stand still. I'm not moving around really quick. Is because if you accidentally like shuffle something away, as long as you didn't move, you can bring the spell back. So we have the magic guard. It is here. Now, the magic guard. Let's just kill the final boss with a spark bolt. Let's keep it simple. That means, after all this journey that we've done, all this damage, we can drop everything. All this damage that we have, we no longer need it. What we do need is a single spark bolt. Do we hold on to the other one just in case we want to do something funny with it? I don't know. One spark bolt. That's it. And then what else do we want to do? We want to set up. It's like a 1-2 punch with the hungry ghost. I'll break it down for you. Don't worry. You'll get to see it all in action. Let's see. Cast number 1. Cast number 2. Cast number 1. Cast number 2. 1. Cast number 2. All right. So it is working. So we have a single spark bolt. And then we have this wand that's built around buffing us up. You really just need the magic guard and cessation. These are the 2 key things. But by putting a divide by on cessation, it lets you spam the spell faster. By having an alpha, it lets me use this spell an unlimited amount of times. Though if you get the unlimited spell perk, I believe that works on cessation. So you can get rid of the Greek letter if you have that. And this spark bolt, the only reason I have that there is because it's a filler spell, because this wand is a 2 cast. If it was a 1 cast, I would just get rid of that. So we need to cast it in such a way that the first 2 spells cast, Magic Guard and Spark Bolt, because of the two casts. Magic Guard flies around me just for a moment. My butt protector is kind of annoying because it's also eating up the Magic Guard too. It's one of the disadvantages. One of the reasons I should not have grabbed. butt protector because it does kind of get in the way a little bit. But our little friend, as you can see, is eating the magic guard too whenever it gets near him, this little yellow ghost. And whenever he eats it, he gives you this red fist that is a damage buff. Each fist amplifies your damage more and more. I believe it is exponential, I think is the correct term, hopefully, for it. So the damage is going to get pretty crazy. But the timer is so short on it. The reason if you've never heard of this run, like people doing a run like this before, it's because it just lasts for a couple seconds. Cessation is where things change, because whenever you cast cessation, it actually resets the timer back to 4 seconds. And so it changes the viability of this build big time. So I'm just kind of buffing up for a bit, and I'll shoot at a couple enemies so you can kind of see it in action. Okay, so let me see if you can see the damage. Right now, we're still just getting the beginning of the buffs. We shot the nest. That was a single spark bolt. Was that 100? Oh, was it 123,000? I don't know. Am I jumping ahead of my? I think it was 123,000. We got to make sure we don't let those reset. Otherwise, we will lose. We don't lose it, but you have to restart over. Maybe it's just 15,000. I think that one was just 15,000. Means that we need to feed them more. The more hungry ghosts you have, the faster you can go through this whole like feeding process. They get fed quicker, and the more projectiles you cast together, the more they amplify the effect that they're given. So more projectiles, more ghosts. This becomes way faster, way stronger. So while I'm traveling along, I'm vanishing, I'm resetting the buff over and over, and I'm feeding the ghosts more and more, because we're gonna need them to be pretty fed for the boss kill coming up. Couldn't you have divided the guard spell to make it generate more projectiles to eat? So the ghost can only eat the projectiles so quickly. So it's not like he'll just go like, he'll just eat a ton at once if you put a lot in front of him. He eats one, waits like 3 seconds, eats one, and waits 3 seconds, and then like that. So he only can move so quickly. This is the advantage to having multiple ghosts. Because if you have like 4 or 5 ghosts, then yes, you want to just spam the magic guard, because each ghost individually needs to eat the projectiles. And so tons of magic guards gives them more food quicker. But one dude, it's really, casting more of them doesn't do shit. You're having to wait out his like cooldown timer for food, for eating. What do you guys think? Was that number large enough? You think it's large enough to kill the 34 orb boss with a single spark bolt? Cloudy says no, but Muglin says yeah. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yeah. Does cessation reset the duration of all buffs and debuffs, or is this one special? There's quite a few that it does reset, but not all of them. For example, they made sure that you couldn't reset the chest rain, because it did work for a little while with that chest rain where it's like raining down. You could interrupt it with cessation, and you could just do it over and over and over. That doesn't work. Poly immunity doesn't work because it isn't like a set timer. You have to think of it. The buff needs to be something that is a set timer buff, and then in that case it will. But for poly immunity, you ate a corpse, and it gave you like a set immunity depending on how much you ate. So there isn't like a set timer for it to go back to. It doesn't know. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. 1 spark bolt, baby. 1 spark bolt to the face. Couldn't even see the goddamn number because the fire was like all in the way. You can just see his health bar just go boom. But there you go, 1 spark bolt. And now if you're curious, wait, what was that other effect on it? Why it looked kind of weird when he got hit by the single spark bolt? You gotta remember that we also had it on, I'm gonna let the debuffs expired. Our wand here had an always cast personal gravity field. That didn't help the damage or anything. It was just a cool wand that we're using out throughout the run. But there is the 34 orb run, and I feel like locking it in at the bottom is not the move. You gotta lock it in on the surface, where the cool kids win. Actually, if I lock it in at the bottom, I can't even remember if you can. You may be able to properly lock it in, but I don't think you get to see the cool stuff. Honestly, I don't even remember. Part of me wants to jump in there. Let me see if it even lets you. It's been so long since I revisited this. Does it... okay, it would try to let you. I don't want to, though. Press E for the king. Yep, the king has arrived. Let's back over to the arena. Ooh, that is... I almost ran into that polymorphine so many times this run. Look at... Isn't it cool? Look at the background. It's glowing. It's purple. And then we head up here. The 34 orb win. It took us a little while. I've been going for about 9 hours today, but I think we were only playing for probably like 7 or so. We were playing Twitch integration and stuff beforehand. Press E to complete the work. And that's because we have 34 orbs and we are in New Game Plus. You press E and... little cutscene kind of thing, and the world has been restored. If you look at our health, it says that it is infinite. And if you go down to where the enemies are and stuff... Hello, enemies. Hello, fellow allies. We're now friends. It is the peaceful ending. They love us. We're best friends. Wait, I can't remember. Is the 34 orb is the one that also gives you poly immunity, right? Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you also get the poly immunity from it. But there's always a way to die in Noita, even with our crazy HP and all that crap. Wait, I didn't do stainless armor stacking, so I think the Dark Sun should still hurt pretty badly. Right? Dunk will find a way. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? What are you trying to say? Another way is that even though I cannot get polyed, there is an enemy that removes your immunities. So if you get hit by the weakening mage, he will remove that immunity. So then we could get affected by polymorphine and die that way. But I'm heading for the Dark Sun. Alright, this is where we want to be. Alright, infinite health, Dark Sun. No! For some reason I was thinking that we could still get fucked up by the minus damage. I guess the minus damage also gets nulled out. And it's no big deal. Like I said, we can still kill our character. There's lots of methods. So the method I'm about to use to kill off my character does not look at your HP when you die. It'll look at the creature that you were polymorphed into when you died. So it's not going to say I had infinite HP when I died. It's going to be like you had 4 HP or something, you know. There we go. So we have this weakening mage, and then we have this poly mage. So we run up to the weakening mage, we kick him. Okay, he sucks. Hey, you. Hey, hey. Hit me! It's because my repulsion stuff. There you go. I've been weakened. So what I can do is I can like poly and then jump into lava. Or like I could poly here. Oh, it actually gets hurt. Well, hey, the traps are still violent. But yeah, so while it's weakened, I can poly. Goodbye, cruel world. And we found a way to die. And you still get the win. As you can see, the credits are rolling. But then at the end, whenever it says max HP, 7. So it's like the amount of HP I had as I was that creature that died. But there is the 34 orb amulet run with a method that I hadn't done before. I appreciate you guys linking that. Let me see if it says on the wiki who specifically designed it. Let's look. I don't know who to credit for this, but whoever took the time to math it up, this wand here, this wand design was perfect. It was some genius out there.
Plus touch of spell would have done it as well, and then you don't lose the infinite HP on the stat screen. IIRC.
Ooh, that's a great idea, Mr. Bonuso. Yeah. or you could drag him all the way down to the sun. But yeah, no, Mr. Bonuso's right. The reason he says a touch of spell, because touch of spells scale with your HP. The more HP you have, the more damage they do. So yeah, touch of, you may have to spam it a couple times, I'm not sure. But if you have stainless armor stacking, that's whenever you have an issue. But in that case, I didn't have any stainless armors. But GG, chat, can we get some GGs for the YouTube peeps? Chat, I appreciate you guys being calm and well-behaved, for the most part, so that the YouTube peeps could get a longer run uploaded for them. So thank you, chat. G-fucking-G, baby. GG. Okay, don't look, listen, YouTube guys, these guys, listen, they just watched, like, it's been 9 hours of some sweaty nerd playing a game. They don't know what they're typing right now. Please don't judge them for this degeneracy. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat, for hanging out today. Thank you for putting up with the fact that DunkBot was muted. I will let you guys be free. I would never mute you guys because you guys behaved so well today.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Don't push it. All right, don't push it. Nope, no. Lord, give me strength. Chat. Calm. Okay, I held back. I held back.
How much? I have done nothing but teleport bread for 3 days.
I was a smart kid, I don't know what happened. Now I'm fucking dumb as rocks.
I didn't do it. I held back. I held back. Okay. Now, we did go on a pretty awesome journey today. I appreciate you guys, you know, not being too upset about DunkBot being muted. But I don't know if it was the most exciting run. It was more of like me just having to relearn some stuff. Because it's been a long time since I did a 34 orb run. But I'm glad I did it. Because after learning how easy it is to get those orbs now. Weebs are muted. Hold up.
It's time to stop. It's time to stop, okay?
No more.
No more.
But yeah, it makes me want to do more greater chest orb stuff because that wand worked excellently. The reason I even knew there was something in that realm is because Indoor Cat, which many of you guys know Indoor Cat in our community, he actually has been doing these builds. He hasn't been doing it for the greater chest orb, but Indoor Cat designed a wand so that he could just farm the chests at the end. And so we could do the same thing. We don't have to go for the greater chest orb. We could just make it where we are looking for maybe monstrous powder or, I don't know, just some kind of rare materials like Deathium that we never see. That wand would be really helpful. Now, there's still probably a couple more steps we would need because the chest is like just opening and dropping the stuff onto the ground. So if there's like flasks of Deathium, they're just going to break onto the ground. But still, I was really happy with that run. It opens up new possibilities. And we're going to go ahead and be wrapping things up. I know some of you guys were hoping for...
You guys can see this guy right now. He is
you were hoping for a bit more Noita, but we're going to be playing more Noita in like, 15 hours or so. 14 to 15 hours, we'll be playing more Noita. So don't be sad. More Noita gaming coming your way. He always says he has stuff to do. Like we don't know the moment he gets off stream, he heads straight to some barbecue joint for several hours. That's important. It's on the schedule. Gotta follow the schedule. Eat my daily brisket, yep. Hold up. What is he saying? Why is... I see something in, I guess, Russian. And then Ordinary Watch says cinema. Hold on. Is this the equivalent of re? I wish I could complete the game at least once, and you have already completed it more than 4. Wait, 4? Was this 4 million? Yeah, well, not quite, but we're at what win number are we at right now? Let's see. He said fuck. Oh, fuck. Damn it, TTS, you lied to me. 2,423, not bad. It translates to fuck. I guess that's close to re, right? Re! Remove the first 2 E's. Okay, remove the first 2 E's. Will it translate it better? Wait, what do you mean? Like here? What the fuck? Holy shit, that makes such a difference. Fuck, I would have to complete the game at least once, and you've already completed it more than 4 minutes. Okay, I see. It went from re to fuck. Hey, for any of our Russian community members out there, make sure you translate for him. Don't give in. That's Noita. That's the Noita testing you. Noita's that game that it does fuck you up in the beginning because it only wants the truly great Noita players to get to experience the sandbox mode that is the late game. The God runs are your reward for putting up with the rough, messed up early days of Noita. So don't give in. Don't give in. I literally replied that. Thank you, BRB. Thank you, dude. Making sure that even though I don't speak the same language, we can help these guys out. Because I do think Noita is an easy game to be like, it's an RNG fest. It's cool, but I don't have like a billion hours to spend on the game. And to walk away not realizing that like it's not an RNG fest. You can master it. And it doesn't even require that many hours. I mean, compared to your regular single player game, yes, it does. But if you're willing to consume some content, take some advice from like the wiki and stuff and from YouTube videos, you can catch up to players that have been playing 1,000+ hours and you've been playing like 50 hours and you already have a Sun Quest or some shit. Thank you for the amazing day. Thanks for helping me out and you know, joining me on my journey for the 34 orb run today. It was a good time. It was a blast. And I will see you guys, like I said, in about 14 hours or so, okay? Hopefully I didn't miss anything else. I don't know. Oh yeah, and thank you guys for putting up with the fact that I was recording the YouTube video today because I know you guys love to spam your sound effects and stuff, but since we recorded a YouTube video, the bot was muted pretty much the entire day. So tomorrow, no muted bot. You guys will be free. So I'll see you guys in about 14 to 15 hours. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. I will see you. For me, it'll be tonight. Deuces, chat.